Sports Radio 560 WQAM Miami Fort Lauderdale presents The Neil Rogers Show. To talk to Neil, call 567-0560 toll free for Dade and Broward, or pound 560 on your cell phone. The opinions of Neil, his guests, callers, or anyone else on the show do not necessarily reflect those of WQAM, Beasley Reed Acquisitions, or the Beasley Broadcast Group. Now, Neil Rogers on Sports Radio 560 QAM.
I fucked him up!
560 WQAM ERECTION. It's erection time. I'm gonna kick off my shoes, strip off my dress. It makes me wet when I see you get a big erection.
All right.
That's too big for my mouth. I want it mercenary and on top of you, and take it up my lubricated poop suit. Give me an erection and nail me to the wall. ERECTION. I want to drain your balls. I want your loud and wally-oppy when you shoot your Uzi, and then I'll give it a blow.
Squirt.
In the morning it gets as big as this, at least until you take a piss. I want to wrap my lips around your pulsing tube and make your Wonder Worm explode with glue. That's some erection.
Oh my God.
And it's uncircumcised. ERECTION.
Oh.
I want to drain your balls. ERECTION.
10:02 at 550 WQM. So George is back today from the wounded. And evidently, he must have really been out of it. He says, when's the trends coming out? When are the ratings coming out? What is with you, man? I would have thought that at least you would have been kept your ear tuned to that.
I tried.
NyQuil in one hand and the radio in there. So anyway, the best news of all, this is so typical. And, you know, one thing you didn't notice about this, the opening day program for the Marlins for Monday. By the way, you think Levon's going to win one game this year?
No.
Nice job, Levon. But anyway, the opening day program from 1999 at the Marlins, the brand new deal of the regime, and here on page, well, they're not numbered, so page something, about a third of the way through. It is brought to my attention, here's an ad with my picture on it. It says, and it's a really, Bush League, like, you know, I hate to keep comparing to Piper High, because we owe those kids an apology. You know, seriously, WKPX is one of the best high school stations in America. They play great music. Those kids over there are more professional broadcasters than most of the people, especially the ones behind the scenes who work in this place. I don't want to mention Sam, because she'd get upset. But nevertheless, here's an ad, a promotional ad. You want them? Middays, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And there's a picture. Good picture, by the way, with a stogie. Actually, look almost human there, almost. And then there's the bumper sticker logo, that awful blue and yellow grotesque thing that makes you want to puke your guts. You want them? We got them. And there's the picture, and it says middays, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And in small print, it says Neil, spelled correctly, that's good, Rodgers. What's there to say?
Unbelievable. Incredible.
Or maybe just, yeah. Can't even spell the names right. But, you know, the interesting part that you didn't notice, which I'm sure you didn't scour through this with your tremendous interest in the Marlins. Oh, the Marlins. I don't see any ad for the rest of the radio station. So I shouldn't be complaining. At least I got a mention in here.
The team logos are on that page.
What?
That's the rest of the station. The team logos. The same ad that has your puss.
What does that mean?
It has all of the team logos. Neil Rogers and all the games. That's all.
But it doesn't. I didn't even associate that with the ad. I thought that was. I didn't realize that.
That's what the "We Got 'Em" is talking about.
Well, that's the dumbest thing I ever saw in my life, because it's like off to the side. There's like a line, you know, like that strong line that separates me from the rest of the 20 hours and the sports crap, because we want to make sure we separate him because his numbers are too big. But doesn't it look like it's separated? I thought it would like had something to do with over here. I didn't think it was part of the ad. But seriously, there is nothing. Is there anything in here promoting the worst team?
No.
Humper?
No.
Ed Kaplan and a gambling show for all the degenerate gamblers?
No.
Nothing. And what you're missing out, is there anything here that says, for example, I'll give you an example, which I marked somewhere in here. There's on some page it says catch the Marlins on WQBA. Here it is. Look, 11:40 a.m. There's a big, beautiful ad, by the way. Catch the Marlins on WQBA for the best seat in La Casa. And by the way, I want to credit the people at WQBA. I can't do it for much, but at least it's in English and Espanol. How do you like that? Unlike an ad that appears later on in here, way back toward the back of the book. And I don't want to pick on these people. They may be very nice people and they want to make some money and they're in business. But how come it is in a program? Now keep in mind, this is the Florida Marlins, not the Havana, the Cuban national team, or the Havana or Sugar Kings, whatever they used to be 100 years ago. This is the Florida Marlins. Here's an ad, full page, that doesn't have a word of English in it. El béisbol vive en la calle 8 y la 37 avenida. Porque ahí es donde se encuentra la tienda Marlins en Miami, etc., and so on. The Westeros Marlins, it's for Marlins in Miami, for some kind of a Marlins shop, sporting goods kind of place. Lunes y viernes, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., sábados, etc. Para más información, llama en español.
Think they speak Spanish there?
No. They're just pandering. No, seriously, I mean, what is that? I thought we were making some progress because years ago you drive onto Palmetto. Oh, boy, do I hate that. But when you'd have to drive onto Palmetto, you drive past the Hialeah portion of the Palmetto and you'd see all those billboards in Espanol. Oh, no speak it English. And now I don't see any of those. And I thought, yeah, we're making some progress, goddammit. That too. And now you pick up the Marlins thing. And I see, this is just like what the Herald does. I mean, you go through the program, you see the names of all the players, and they're all named Gonzalez, and here's Ramon Castro. Ooh, look out, Ramon. You're in trouble. I sure hope he ain't no kin, no paisan. But, I mean, yeah, we understand that. But in the meantime, Julio's are not interested in the Marlins. That's the myth that they keep pushing. Oh, they've been pushing this thing from day one. And I'm sure when they start peddling the new stadium, which, man, they're working frantically, although after last night, they may have taken a few giant steps backward. They said they had 18,000 people there last night? Yeah. Well, that was the paid attendance. That was the number of tickets sold, including season ticket holders, however many there are, maybe 9,000, 10,000 so far. Quite a drop-off from that opening day, and John Henry, good luck, because you'll need it, sweetheart. Now, we got a real interesting thing going on in town today. Wait till I get to this Dan LeBastard. Can I make a suggestion? How about if we just take Dan LeBastard and put him on a banana boat and just send him back to Cuba? I know Fidel wouldn't want to take him, but let's give him no opportunity, no choice. He's yours. You are, Dan, and this covers a lot of territory, so this is quite an honor that I'm giving you now. You are the biggest asshole who has ever descended upon this town. There isn't anybody. I can't think. I mean, this guy makes Barry Jackass look like Red Smith in terms of sports writing, in terms of a human being, in terms of a mentality. Today he's got a thing about the gangster jocks, about, pros and cons, all that stuff we talked about months ago. Never met a gangster he didn't like. In fact, I'm so inspired by Dan LeBastard, I think I'm going to call up Paul Tagliabue and suggest that the NFL should start gangster tryouts at every prison, every penitentiary all over America from coast to coast. God only knows how many good criminals we'll come up with. Huh? Yeah, the gangster teams. This guy never met a gangster. And then, of course, interesting enough, in his same newspaper today is the latest story about Irving Spikes. Oh! Got a little problem, a little nose problem there again, Irving. Little peddling problem, a little gun problem, not only in one state, but in 2 states, for the price of 1. But Dan LeBastard, don't confuse him with the facts. We're going to send you back, Danny. We're going to put a medianoche under each armpit. We're going to stuff a picture of Levon right up your rectum and send you back where you came from, and hope they'll take you. In fact, let's just ship him over to Guantanamo. Maybe they'll think he's Yugoslavia. 9 minutes after 10 at 560 WQM. If you're, and by the way, speaking of QM of libertarians, assholes. Look at this. See, you people with the Libertarian Party, stop wasting my fax paper, okay? Nobody cares about the Libertarian Party. Nobody cares about your stupid, idiotic bullcrap about Yugoslavia and how this is all unjust and yada, yada, yada. Anybody that could watch 10 seconds or more of what's going on over there and what's being done to these people, and write this swill. No wonder there aren't 5 people with an IQ larger than their penis who want to be identified with Libertarian Party. So keep wasting our fax paper and sending me this crap, okay? Idiots, assholes.
And we see the president getting ready to deliver his address. He's in the Oval Office with the gold drapes behind him, and he is preparing to address the American people.
Cue music, please. My fellow Americans, I have deployed our forces to put up a fight in a place called Kosovo.
Oh!
Outside of Albania, where all the Macedonians go. Right there in Kosovo, we're gonna blow away Serbian Muslims in the KLA. Sloboda Milosevic is mad because his nickname is Slob. Later of Kosovo, Prikaz and Popchek, Dekani and Glagovac, Romania, Bulgaria, Croatia, Herzegovina, Serbia, Pristina, Adriatic Sea is near Kosovo. That's where I told NATO to point our planes and go, annihilating Belgrade and Sarajevo, and Hugo Montenegro.
And may God bless America.
10:15 at 560 WQAM on a great Wednesday. It's a great day for the Irish, for the Jews, for the Schwarzes, for the Polacks, for everybody. Not too good for the Yugoslavians, but we're working on it. So anyway, I think we may have precipitated, you may have started this. In fact, you were the one that brought this to my attention this morning. Maybe that's where you were yesterday, not out sick, looking for something.
Yeah, I was digging around.
Digging around for some crap to stir up, as usual. Stir up some crap. And now, George, didn't take George long. Less than 24 hours later, he's getting even with Sam for calling him a little lady or whatever he called you yesterday. She.
I didn't even hear it.
Maybe he said you were working on she, something like that. But at any rate, Greg Regis came in with a very expensive suit, by the way. I wonder where he traded that out. And was foaming at the mouth. I've never seen him so furious. He said, let me see that program. And he opened it up, and there's Neil Rogers, misspelled with a D. And then there's the logos of the three teams that look like totally unassociated with the rest of the ad. It looks like part of the night. You don't even, if you look at that, you don't even identify that with QAM in any way, shape, or form. It's one of the worst ads, even worse than the one that's all in Espanol. Because at least that one I don't understand that well. You know what I'm saying? You can't get mad at an ad when you can't understand a lot of it. But this is just pathetic. I'm firing him today. I said, who? Sam. And we all went, right. We all know he's got naked pictures. You're not firing Sam today. She's not going anywhere. Hey, we'll call everybody she, okay? That'll make Sam feel better. Everybody's full of Shiite, okay? She this, she that. I mean, it's pathetic, and it's so typical of what goes on in this place. You know, I mean, plus, it goes to show you the tremendous impact, because yesterday I was begging people to call. I think I wound up with 3 or 4 who had been at the Marlins opener on Monday. And here we got the ad in there with my picture in there, which you're right, I should be grateful. It's not Hank's big fat puss.
Hey, stupid!
It's not the morning show. Oh, by the way, coming to work this morning, and they had my buddy Ray Whitney on there. Nice interview, Ray. Gotta love Ray Whitney. There's the guy. You notice for a little guy, he's got a real deep voice. You know what that means, don't you? Huh? No, seriously, any time you see a guy with a real deep voice.
Ray Whitney has a pair.
A big pair, yeah. But, he was good, and he didn't gild the lily, and he said basically we stink, and they were pissed off, and, he told it like it was. But after that, when I came in this morning, I said to Defoe, I said, was that a tape after the Whitney interview? It was the same 20 minutes they did yesterday at exactly the same time. Maybe they're going to start patching in some of the dead spots in the morning with tape until Ranieri starts. Huh? I mean, if I was just playing out the string until El Cinco de Mayo, I would be doing the same thing, I guess. Just patching a bunch of tapes, press conferences, stuff like that kills a lot of time.
That was funny.
Yeah. Because it was the same, exactly, word for word, verbatim, what they went through yesterday. And Joe being real indignant because Defoe says this and Geldy that, and about the Panthers, Give it up, guys. They suck. They suck. It's called lack of talent. Carolina won last night, so if there were any doubts in your mind, I mean, it's as close to official as possible. No playoffs. Even though Wayne's got all our playoff money, no playoffs for the second year in a row. And, well, you think we need this and Pavel that? I got news for you. This is a lackluster bunch. There's maybe 4 or 5, maybe a half a dozen guys on this team that ought to be here next year. And if it were me, I would clean house. Of course, it isn't me, and where they ought to start cleaning the house, like I said yesterday, is right at the top. But I don't want to repeat everything I said yesterday, because then I'll be like them. But I mean, like verbatim. The next 25 minutes, verbatim, word for word. You know. And I said to Defo, I said, why are you doing that? It's not that complicated. Lack of talent. Too many stiffs in uniforms out there. Too many guys who can't get the job done, who couldn't stick the biscuit in the basket. That's the problem. They can't stick it in the basket, and the biscuit either. So evidently you got Sam in a lot of trouble this morning, you know? To which I say, oh! Yeah, get him off his ass, okay? Get him off his dead ass. Let's start getting some promotion for this place. And by the way, Hank is right. I heard Hank talking about referencing these trends that came out yesterday, unbeknownst to George, who was sleeping and puking all day. And they came out. We did great here at midday, by the way. Oh! Which I'll be glad to toot my own horn because nobody else will touch it with a 10-foot pole, but I'll toot it. But, and Hank's numbers are, it's deceiving. Now, on the one hand, I want to make sure he understands, which I'm sure he does realize this, being on from 2 to 6 is, in this market, much preferable to 3 to 7. Because the 6 to 7 hour is a dead hour. You know, it's TV viewing time. You know, for the most part, drive time in this market is over by 6 o'clock. It's watch the evening news and the network news at 6:30. That's what and having dinner 6 to 7. It's not a good radio hour, never has been. So when you're on from 2 to 6, then you have to wait till the whole book comes out and you can extrapolate your own numbers from 2 to 6, just like we can do from 10 to 2 instead of the day part that Arbitron designs 10 to 3. We you know, have only the first 4 hours of that. So you have to extrapolate it. So obviously whatever his number is, it's better because the 6 to 7 hour, with all due respect to Fat Boo, is a weak sister. So Hank's doing fine. We're kicking serious ass. The weak link, I don't want to mention no names again here in terms of these trends, and we watch these following numbers. The weak link continues to be that morning show. Yeah? I mean, I heard that 20 minutes this morning. It sounded like I'd heard verbatim yesterday, word for word. I mean, every single phrase, every single word. Oh, you're saying Bury this and Babip and the Yarmer Yager and the Penguin and the pretty good and we need other. Every word that I heard yesterday. What can we do? That's our poll question this morning. What can we do to improve that morning show? Remember Ranieri did that one time? He went, squirt, squirt. Don't you remember that? That was as close to angry as you can get Mikey. As close as you'll get to a rebuttal or response. What can we do to improve that Neil Rogers show? Remember that? And your good friend Roger Magellan participated in that too, by the way. Can we find out what the real Henry Barrow story is? I am just dying to know. We heard from Henry that one day, and he used my show as kind of like a sounding board to promote his feeble show there on Waxy. And we were trying to get the real story behind the story about what they did to Ranieri and who stabbed him in the back, and how come he couldn't afford to buy the time there, but they could, et cetera, and so on. And then that Mark Benson called in, that unctuous one, Mark Benson, almost as unctuous as Steve Noodleberg. And you remember that conversation. I remember like it was only moments ago, fresh in my mind. And we had a very surly and very much too long conversation. And then the next thing, that was like on a Thursday or Friday. Next thing we know, Monday morning, Henry Barrow announces his retirement. Henry Barrow retired. Well, I'd sure like to, I mean, not that anybody in this audience was listening to it, but I just, you know, in terms of industry scuttlebutt, I'd like to find out. By the way, we met 17 new salespeople this morning for WQAM. I'm serious. Anywhere within a 10-block radius of this station, you can walk out under the hallway here. You can walk outside into the driveway. You can walk up 441, and you bump into somebody. Oh, excuse me. Hey, aren't you Neil Rogers? I'm on the sales department at your station. I just started QM 5 minutes ago. Like I said, when you got all those sports things, and most of them will tell you, oh, yeah, I started in sports sales. Like Steve Noodleberg, they brought him back to sell sports. So maybe anybody want to buy any Marlin spots? No. Any interest? No. Here's a mobile in Fort Lauderdale. Hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
I had a couple questions
regarding... You want to buy some spots on the Marlin games? No. Okay. It doesn't hurt to ask. No, thank you. Doesn't hurt cheap, real cheap. No. Okay.
No. I have some questions regarding Kosovo.
Yes.
Okay. First of all, they're bringing all these thousands of refugees to Guantanamo, right?
Yes, that's right.
If they're going to bring them all that way, why don't they just bring them here? I mean, we can set up little Albania.
They're going to overthrow Castro. That's the part of the plot that you don't understand yet.
I mean, Surfside is open. We can just make little Albania.
No, what they're going to do is they're going to overthrow Castro, and then we're sending all these Julios, all the malcontent ones that aren't happy about the way things are going here. They're all going back, whether they want to go or not.
With Dan LeBastard?
You know, in fact, have you noticed how they're shoving all the Albanians out of these planes, not even with their families? They're just shoving them on there, taking them to God only knows where. Well, that's what's going to happen with all these Cubans that talk up too much, you know, make too much trouble here. They're going straight back there as soon as I mean, the Yugoslavians can take care of Fidel.
When is
These
the next?
pussies who got here, they can't do it.
We're bombing them from that base in Italy. When
Right.
when are we going to have the next ski lift bombing mission?
That's a week from Thursday.
All right, Python. Take care.
Venerdì. Okay, adios. Arrivederci. Okay, there's a good call. We got an interesting problem in town tonight, by the way. I wasn't aware that the Heat were playing because I don't pay any attention to 7-foot Spo ball. I'm not into that. But we got not only one, we got two, we got three sporting events on the same evening in this town. That's going to be the real contest. I have a feeling, I could be wrong, but because it's the Bruins, even though the Panthers are all but mathematically eliminated, playoffs are a distant, fainted, they're gone. But you got your Marlins and the Mets. Any interest at all in the Marlins and the Mets after the 12-3 shellacking that Levon and the Marlins took last night as the real Marlin team stood up?
No.
No. You got the Heat. I have no idea who the Heat's playing. Who are they playing, George? The Heat are playing some bunch of 7-foot Schwarzers. I don't know who they're playing. And you got the Panthers and the Bruins tonight. Now, there are some Bruin fans around. Unlike when we played the Caps the other night, and they had like four people there with old worn-out uniforms, the guys that don't even play there anymore, like Dale Hunter. But there'll be some Bruin people there tonight. Oh, and by the way, not only were there only 18,000 people last night, but from the accounts that I'm reading and hearing, as some of our people predicted yesterday, the Mets people did outnumber the Marlin fans, at least in terms of noise. Let's go Mets! And makes me sick to hear that. But that's why they were shouting, "Let's go Mets! Let's go Mets!" And the other people were pissed off and fired up. But they better not make a peep, And that's the way it was. That's the way it was. So who's going to be going where tonight? That's our poll question, in addition to the first one, which I forget already because that was 10 minutes ago. 5670560, pound 560 on a mobile one line. We'll get to Dan LeBastard, that idiotic caller of his. Oh, yeah, they got talent. We don't care if they're gangsters. We don't care if they're criminals. We don't care what they're accused of. They got talent. They can run fast and jump high. Just ask Drew Rosenhuis. What up? Dan, I'm serious. They should be sending him to Guantanamo, not those poor Yugoslavians. They should send Dan LeBastard down there. And just let all those horny soldiers down there have their way with them for a couple of weeks. Hey, seriously, he is crap on two legs, Dan LeBastard. This is the guy that was screwing around with our phone lines in there one day a couple of weeks ago, wasn't it? Wasn't that the guy, Dan LeBastard?
Uh-huh.
You bastard. Talk about truth in packaging.
The media is sick and needs help badly.
There was an old farmer who lived on a rock.
Oh!
He sat in the meadow just shaking his fist at some boys who were down by the creek. Their feet in the water, their hands on their marbles and playthings, and at 4:30, there came a young lady. She looked like a pretty young creature. She sat on the grass. She pulled up her dress and she showed them her ruffles and laces and white fluffy duck. She said she was learning a new way to bring up her children so they would not spit, while the boys in the barnyard were shoveling refuse and litter from yesterday's hunt. While the girl in the meadow was rubbing her eyes at the fellow down by the dock. He looked like a man with a sizable home in the country with a big fence out front. If he asked her politely, she'd show him her little pet dog who was subject to fits. And maybe she'd let him grab hold of her small tender hands with a movement so quick. And then she'd bend over and suck on his candy so tasty made of butterscotch. And then he spread whipped cream all over her cookies that she had left out on her shelf. If you think this is dirty, you can go yourself.
All right. 10:32 at 560 WQM. So we didn't have one person that saw the program for opening day at the Marlins that saw this ad, saw the spelling mistake, saw that I was in there, or anything else about that. Who are those people? You know what it's like? It's like the sawgrass. It's the same thing. Who are those people? Who are the people who are in attendance there? Where did they come from? What planet did they? When did the spaceship land? Who are they? They're not our crowd. That's for goddamn sure. So talk about also, really putting your advertising in a place where it's going to have a serious impact. Let's promote that Neil Rogers at the Marlin games. They're into it. So where are you going to be going tonight? There must be other people out there that have free tickets to at least two, maybe all three of the above. The Marlins, the Heat, and the Panthers, all of whom are playing in a great piece of scheduling, by the way, home games on the same night. On the same night, tonight. What a tough choice, man. The Marlins and the Mets, Panthers and the Bruins, a meaningless game, and the Heat and the Mavericks. I had to look it up myself because nobody in this audience pays that much attention. That's what inquiring minds want to know. Which choice will you be making? Those of you who have multiple orgasms and multiple tickets out there, okay? Very important question. 567-0560, pound 560 on a Mobile One line. So Dan LeBastard says, Martin and Collins worth the risk. And he goes on about Tony Martin, who's shopping his wares elsewhere now, by the way. Don't look too good for Tony coming to the Dolphins. He's busy. And deep threat Tony Martin and societal threat Cecil Collins. Oh, that's beautiful. I love the way he puts that. Well, Cecil's had a little bit of a problem. He's been arrested twice for allegedly breaking into women's apartments and making sexual advances. He was kicked off the LSU football team before last season for smoking marijuana and then spent a month in jail for violating his probation by smoking some more. One of Collins' former coaches was recently quoted as saying, Collins has the mind of a 15-year-old, and another said any team that drafts him would have to assign psychiatrists and counselors to help keep him out of trouble. Oh! And Dan LeBastard says, oh yeah, they're worth the risk. And Tony Martin, of course, who's facing those charges, all those things here in Miami. And in the same newspaper on the same day it says, ex-Dolphins running back facing drug charges in 2 states. Oh! Irving Spikes, remember Irving Spikes beating up his wife and all those things? Which he pleaded no contest to, by the way. His ex-wife. Well, the once promising football player, the former Dolphin, is now awaiting trial on federal drug charges in 2 states, Mississippi and Florida. Not just 1, but 2 for the price of 1. Spikes, 28, already in jail in Gulfport, Mississippi, was indicted last week in Fort Lauderdale on charges of conspiracy to possess cocaine with intent to distribute and possession with intent to distribute. Spikes, who was cut from the Dolphins last year after 4 seasons, was indicted late March in Mississippi for allegedly selling cocaine to Derek Joyner, whom FBI agents call a major Gulf Coast drug dealer, and participating in a shootout outside Joyner's Biloxi apartment. In that case, Spikes allegedly recruited another man to rob Joyner. Police said Spikes sold Joyner 2 kilograms, about 4.4 pounds of cocaine, as well as 2 kilograms of fake cocaine. When he tried to persuade Joyner that some wrapped sheetrock was a kilo of coke in late March, Spike's partner, John Samuel Morgan Jr., pulled a gun on Joyner and stole $17,000. Spikes was denied bail in the Mississippi case. Morgan was released on $50,000 in bail, and it goes on and on and on. And other incidents and conspiracy charges, and the one here in Florida, and the one in Mississippi. All right. Yeah, that Lawrence Phillips deal, that worked out real good. And Bobby Humphrey. And how's Mark Duper doing lately? Anybody seen him lately?
No.
And Sammy Smith. And on it goes. And Dan LeBastard, he needs to be deported immediately, if not sooner. I'm serious. This man's an asshole. He's an idiot. The fact that a so-called major market newspaper has got this man writing a column, he's just incoherent, writing lunacy. It wasn't bad enough we heard that the Marlins didn't win the World Series 2 years ago. It was the Cubans that won it. It was Levon and the Cubans won the World Series. I'm Cuban! Yeah, great. We'll give you a goddamn $50 bill and put you on a boat. Go back where you came from, Dan, you asshole, you bastard, you. What a simpleton. Wouldn't it be something to live in a place with a real newspaper? I know I keep saying, I keep having these hallucinations and forgetting momentarily where I am. With real columnists who really have something rational and sensible and gutsy to say instead of this crap. I mean, on the heels of Spikes getting busted again for the second time and all these other things that we've been hearing, Lawrence Phillips, that great experiment. Oh, yeah, it's worth the risk, okay? We don't care how crazy they are if they can run fast and jump high and shoot straight. That's all we care about. Nice going, Dan, you jackass. I'm going to start a petition drive to get him deported. We're going to take away his Visa, MasterCard, and El Pasaporto. Here's Miami Beach. Hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
Neil God. No, I just wanted to tell you because in 1996 I had the unfortunate pleasure of being in Macedonia for 6 months with the UN peacekeeping mission over there.
Yes, sir.
And our job was to go to little towns, and it was called community patrols. We go to Albanian towns, ethnically Macedonian or Serbian towns, and no problems in the Albanians. They were nice. The kids would run up to us, but in the Serbian towns, they wouldn't even look at us. They'd like threatening.
Yeah.
We always felt
hostile.
But not as much as when we used to go out.
Yeah.
they used to give us like a little 4-hour pass. We used to go into town and eat real food, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Serbians would come up to us. Oh, you're Americans, you know, because we dress totally different from them, and they smoke those weird cigarettes over there.
Yeah, man.
That you see. No, it's the filters. You know, they're all tarred out. You know, it's weird. No, but they'd always be like, "Oh, you're Americans," and they'd be like, "You know, if you fight a war here in Macedonia with us Serbs, you will never win." And we're like, "Excuse me, I mean, we're here eating. Hello, you know." They'd volunteer like their nationalism.
Real friendly. It makes you feel like you're back in Miami again, I'll bet.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
But, you know, I don't think we should be bombing them. I think we should be using nuclear weapons on Serbia.
Right.
No, just kidding. Not that far, but I think what we're doing is right.
How about neutron bombs?
That's fine.
Don't want to mess up some of those old buildings.
Or anything. You know, it's that I just felt so. You know, I can't even look at the TV because I was just
there. If they're so insistent that we're never going to beat them, how come Milosevic is on his hands and knees?
He's
waving the white flag.
And they have never seen a military like ours.
Yeah.
They don't know. They do not know the damage that an Apache can inflict on their.
And wait till you see what the Iroquois are going to do to them too, and the Miccosukees. Have a great day, pal.
Hey, Neil.
God bless America. Yes, sir.
Legalize marijuana.
All right.
And I love you.
Yeah, man.
I do, man.
See ya.
I love you.
Okay. He loves me. He loves me. He loves me not. 5670560. Bomb them into the Stone Age is what I say. Okay, and then there's Elie Wiesel. Oh, man, some of these Jews get me so crazy. Writes an article, was it in Newsweek, I think? Oh, it's not genocide. You know, it's always this comparative misery again. Oh, you can't compare this to the Holocaust. I don't care what you compare it to. They're slaughtering people. They're driving 1 million people out of their homes. There are all these poor schleppers over there. I mean, it's not like, it's pathetic what's going on. Pathetic. They should strap Milosevic up by the balls and let just everybody have their way with it, okay? Like they did with Mussolini and his wife after at the end of WW2. That's what they ought to do. Strap him up by the balls if he has any left. The Serbs. And then, you know, what do you expect from a guy named Slav, huh? What do you expect? Just like Jack Lemmon said, I hated Yugoslavia. And now we know why. Oh, it's ethnic cleansing. It's slaughter is what it is, you crazy bastards in the media. It's genocide. And these libertarians, man, you know something? They ought to pass a law to disband the Libertarian Party. I even like Ross Perot compared to those asshole libertarians, and I hate him like poison. He's a twerp, but he's great compared to them. Bunch of constipated morons. You know, all they are is professional contrarians. Whatever the government says, they'll say the opposite, no matter how little sense it might make. Assholes. Not like Dan LeBastard, but close.
Hi, this is Larry King, and they don't come any better than Neil Rogers.
And now the League of Retarded Citizens will perform their rendition of Green Onions. Don't make fun. They worked very hard for this.
Okay, thank you. 10:45. I wonder if Mr. Cheswick was in that group. You think so?
Uh-huh.
And Danny DeVito?
Uh-huh.
He was in there. Here's a fax from somebody on the inside over at Queer Channel. To Brooke Daniels, it says. 1.9 question mark, a 1.9 and dropping like a rock from the top of the World Trade Center. I added the World Trade Center part. What did you just do to my overhead, goddammit?
I bumped it by mistake.
You know, Joe did a great job yesterday, and the phones were full yesterday. I mean, in the beginning it was a little slow, and as soon as I made some comment about what a wise ass you are, because he's going on, well, you know, when George was on Friday, they were full. Even during the commercial breaks, they held on the whole 4 hours. Every line was lit. And I said, so? He was insulting Jews. What do you expect? So anyway, it says, your numbers are falling like a rock. It's such a pleasure watching a talentless CU. I can't read the word, but see you next time. Like you, crash and burn. How do you like that? A talentless see you next time. Who do you think you're fooling, it says? You're a third-rate Randy Rhoads, and Randy is just a 10th-rate Neil Rogers. Start packing those moving boxes, you bitch. You're a joke. And this is from the inside at Queer Channel on their fax machine. They love you. They love you, Brooke. I don't want you getting erotic like Greg Budell and start calling up people. You really hate me. I'm so crushed. They can't stand you, Brooke. You're a talentless. See you next time. Oh, boy. But you know something? Isn't it sweet to watch what's the unfolding of all of that? Because, you know, Rick and Suds, they bailed themselves out and brought a little, God damn it. Yeah. And they're doing good. They're coming along. They're not going to do spectacular in the morning, like I said. But just to watch the way their numbers in the afternoon in just 2 months have dropped in half with that talentless bitch on the air. Just beautiful. As Pete Folger once again, I'm telling you, this guy could screw up a wet dream. He really could. Here's a mobile in Weston. Hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
I just caught the tail end of what you were saying.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. About the program and the ad.
Yeah.
You talking about the ad in the Marlins program?
Right.
Okay, opening day. I'm leaving the game. I'm driving up the turnpike, reading my program.
While you were driving?
Yeah, exactly. Of course. Why not, right?
Yeah. Why waste time?
And I got to the QAM ad, and I looked at him, and you want him, we got him. Is that the part that you were talking about?
Exactly right.
And I'm thinking to myself, wait, here's a picture of Neil. Shouldn't that be him? You want him, we got him.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking I got to call Neil right now, but of course you were off the air at that point. And then I looked at the ad a little bit closer, and I thought, you know what? They didn't screw up. This is correct. Because if you look at the right side of the ad, they got the Dolphins logo, the Marlins logo.
He said, oh, crap. He missed that part. I'm not talking about grammar. I mean, you expect these people here to get the grammar right? Some illiterate slob like Sam to get grammar right?
No.
Of course not. He just came off a banana boat. Where is he from, by the way? What origin is he of? She.
Dominican? That's my guess.
Oh, are you serious? La República Dominicana? That answers a lot of questions I've had for the last 15 months. He's going to Colombia with a banjo on his knee? Good. In fact, he may be going further than he thinks. Oh, he's from Venezuela? Did I tell you how much I hated Caracas? Even worse than Yugoslavia, and I've never even been in Yugoslavia, thank God. Caracas, that isn't a third world country, that's a 50th world country. Rampant poverty and ignorance. I mean, the Pope has really left his mark on that place, hasn't he?
Uh-huh.
Wow. Tragedy. All those little TV antennas on the tin roof huts up there in the mountains in Las Montañas. All those dangerous people waiting with their little beady eyes to, come into the city as soon as your sun goes down. So Sam is from, is it Venezuela? Oh, that answers lots of questions, like I said. 5670560, pound 560 on the mobile one line. Here's a mobile in Coral Springs. Hello.
Hey, Neil, I was calling in regard to what you said about that column in the Herald about Irving Spikes.
Yes.
What do Irving Spikes, Brian Blades, and Mark Duper have in common?
I'm listening.
They're all represented by Miami's own Drew Rosenhaus, who
he's
happens
the best.
to be
he don't
one
have
of
time.
the
He
Herald's
don't have time
favorite
for all
people.
this crime stuff. They got to run high and jump fast and jump high and run fast and whatever.
Yes. This guy gives a new meaning to the word dirtbag.
He's an asshole. Oh, absolutely. In fact, that's going to be our poll question. Who's the bigger exploiter, the bigger scumbag, Joe Kubas or him?
Well, every time this guy so much as belches, it's front page news in the Herald.
Right.
And I don't know what he's paying those guys to
has
shill
naked
for
pictures
him.
of somebody at the Herald.
I don't know what he's paying those guys to shill for him, but it must be an awful lot to get the publicity that they're
He
getting.
probably has naked pictures of Tony Ritter with a sheep.
Yeah, that could be what it is.
Okay.
Take care, Neil.
God bless you, sir. So we decided that there's another scumbag, Drew Rosenhaus. We already knew that. He's a real piece of crap. And Joe Kubas. At least Joe Kubas is, he's honest about it. He's just an exploiter. He just happened to find him drifting around out there in a rubber raft. He didn't have no cell phone or anything like that. He's honest about it, isn't he?
No.
Well, partially. Kind of like our management. Partially honest, like about once a year. 56704. Come on, let's hear where you're going tonight. I wouldn't be surprised if nobody shows up at any of these sporting events. This is the sports station. I'm trying to commingle with this other crap we got on here, especially in the morning. Like I said, boy, I look at those numbers. I just shake my head, and our program, our Pussy Galore there, our PG, he shakes his head. Well, we don't seem to be going anywhere anymore. We don't seem to be going anywhere. We're like flat. We've tapped it out. They've squeezed as much juice as they can out of it, and that's about it. 567-0560, pound 560 on the mobile one line. Maybe we don't have anybody else in this audience. I mean, I get the tickets for free, so I don't want to play big shot, Those Marlin tickets sit in the drawer at home. I could be giving them away right now. Am I going to do it?
No.
Damn right I'm not going to do it. Not going to kill another show with stupid ticket giveaways. Plus, nobody wants them anyway. I had a hell of a time giving away just opening day tickets for Monday. The souvenir tickets, which are actually worth something someday, maybe. And the special parking pass, all that. We had what? We did a drawing. We had like 4 names in the pot. Nobody cares. But there must be other people out there. Marlins, Heat, Pantovers. Pantovers, right. There's got to be some crossovers for the Pantovers. It's a tough decision. I don't want to wind up going to the Macarena tonight and looking around and seeing an empty joint. There's nothing worse than smoking an empty joint.
Yeah, man.
Right? That paper will kill you. It's not what's inside the paper. It's the burning paper that kills you. Just keep that in mind, okay? Unlike those faggots that you people are smoking up a storm out there, when it comes to the wicked weed, it's not the wicked weed that'll kill you. It's the paper that you're burning it in. So don't go buying those cheap papers there in 7-Eleven. Where do you get the good papers? You got to go to Amsterdam. They got the good stuff. Or just go over to Jamaica. Or just come down here, Little Jamaica. They roll it up in the Herald and smoke it.
Yeah, man.
Here's Miami. Hello.
Hello, Neil.
Yes, sir.
How you doing?
Great.
Second-time caller, long-time listener.
All right.
Neil, listened to you for a while. I know you've owned several Corvettes over the years. What's your opinion on the new one, the new 99?
Best Corvette ever made, sir. The best automobile ever made. Go out and buy 2 or 3 right now. That's why I got rid of that 98 and I got me that beautiful metallic navy blue 99. Oh man, that's a car. That is a car. Anybody that drives a Corvette now, that's a real man. Somebody that drives a Corvette. 567-0560, pound 560 on the mobile one line. We should have every line on the board lit up here just on that one question about the goddamn games tonight. This is a tough choice for you to make, Miami. They're sitting there thinking about it. They're doing a Greg Reed. They're scratching their bald spot. They're scratching it in their head too. Trying to figure out where they're going to go, who they're going to give and don't just leave us in the lurch there tonight. Now I'm expecting, of course, the Bruins will be ahead 6-0 by about midway through the first period, so we can leave early again, go over to Publix. That's what I'm expecting. And wouldn't, I mean, Byron Defoe's only got 2 shutouts in a row, and our team, couldn't stick the puck in the Atlantic Ocean anyway from 6 inches away. Plus half of them are out injured anyway, which is another good excuse. I'm expecting 15-0 by like 3 minutes left in the first period. I'm expecting Pat Burns to be taking cat naps during the game, and he looks like he could use them too, by the way. I'll tell you, they all of a sudden got hot again, the damn Bruins, didn't they? Any interest in them?
No.
No. Any interest in that Kyle McLaren? Maybe we can bring some zit cream to the... seems like several of the Bruins, by the way, got a real complexion problem. Maybe bring some zit cream for the Bruins tonight. Here's Virginia Key. Hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
Hey, that region in Kosovo...
Yes.
And Serbia and Albania.
Yes, sir.
Montenegro.
Yes.
It's such a backwards place.
Macedonia, yes.
Macedonia. It's the whole thing's about religion.
Of course, we know that.
I've never heard anybody mention that.
We've talked about that on this show at least 2 or 3 seconds.
Thank God somebody's thinking.
Yeah.
And I'm telling
That's
people.
another example. This is what it's all about. Just keep in mind, the Nazis wore the cross on their belt buckles, okay? And the Nazis all did all it's the same old crap. And the Concordat with the Pope, the great Christians, it was a Christian thing with the Nazis. Don't the people understand this crap? It's all sick religious garbage.
Did you know the
Get
Nazis?
rid of the religion now.
Did you know the Nazis had a church? It was called the Reich Christian Church.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, once again, that was funded on religion and wiping out the Jews. And it wasn't just the Jews, it was also the Muslims, except in that region where Hitler used some of the Muslims on his side to battle the Russians. I mean, that region is so backwards, and they've been so brainwashed that the Catholic Church moved in there in the 14th century.
Yeah, that was the beginning of the end.
That was the beginning of the end. Then,
anywhere that the Catholic Church dominates, you'll find low intelligence. Anywhere they dominate. In Italy, they do a little bit better because they basically gave the Baffangulo to the Pope. They said, get out of our business.
yeah, but most Italians aren't devout Catholic anyway.
They're Catholic, but they're not. Let me say it again. 97% of the people in Italy don't go to church.
Well,
97% of the people in Italy don't go to church, which is why I love Italy.
Right, you're the one that I've heard that from. I've
That's
heard
right.
that. Right.
That's absolutely correct, sir.
Absolutely correct, sir.
And also in that region, you've got 5 Orthodox churches.
Yes.
You know, they call them the Eastern Orthodoxy.
Yeah.
But the Montenegro has their own Orthodox.
Montenegro?
Montenegro.
Yeah.
Serbia has their own Orthodox.
I didn't know there was any Negroes over there.
Yeah, they just make crap up as they go along.
Yeah, right. Just like me. Okay, have a good day, pal. Get out of here. You're killing me. Oh, it's not genocide. It's some other word. Well, I don't care what word you use. It's slaughter. It's barbarianism. It's the worst kind of dreck. And I'd be embarrassed to be involved with the Libertarian Party in facsimile this swill, irresponsible attack on Yugoslavia. You know something? You guys are a bunch of pussies. You ought to become program directors at radio stations all around America. Pussy, 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 okay? That's what you guys are. Just like our Pussy Galore used to be PD in there, the PG. Pussies. Taking just a matter of a few days, they've already bombed them into submission, and there's Milosevic on his hands and knees. Well, we're waving a little schmata over here. Okay, what do you think? We got your 3 Americans here. You want them back? No problem. Go over there and take him apart piece by piece. Him and that goddamn Sodom is what they ought to do. Oh, look at that. Those must be hockey tickets. I thought you were going to bring me those crappy Marlin tickets. Nobody wants those. By the way, you selling any spots on those Marlin games? I'm sorry, Greg. So anyway, we got some, you hear what he said?
No.
No. He said we can't give those spots away. Miami, Fort Lauderdale. Well, I hit the wrong thing because he's in here hocking me at China. Wait a minute. Do it the right way, will you please?
WQAM, Miami, Fort Lauderdale.
Don't blame the nephew, okay? It wasn't his fault. It's your fault, nephew. And tell Sam, by the way, he's out.
If you're a sin, human as season, you're gonna go to limbo.
Oi!
If you're not a Christian, that is the reason. You're gonna go to limbo. Limbo.
You're gonna end up in limbo, the waiting room of limbo.
Limbo.
End up in limbo, the waiting room of limbo.
If you're a Jew, I'm sorry for you. You're gonna go to limbo.
Oi!
Purgatory, but that's another story. You better off in limbo. Limbo. The waiting room of limbo. Limbo. The waiting room of limbo. Everybody, welcome to limbo. Husky. Waiting room. You're allowed to stand and sit down. Stand up and sit down. Because you never obeyed the laws of the Bible that were written by men who never wore pants. Please have a seat. You soon won't be leaving the waiting room of limbo.
Oh!
Old magazines and facts and TV. That's what you get in limbo. 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 The waiting room of limbo. You're gonna go. You're gonna go to limbo.
All right. It's 11:03 at 560 WQAM. Where's that schedule, boy? I'll tell you, that Pussy Galore we got in the other room, our PG, he works hard on these schedules, man. He works feverishly on these. Anything else he does?
No.
He works hard on these. We got Hank at Shula's today, 2 to 6. We got the Talkin' Baseball with Jason and Josh from 6 to 6:30. Yeah, we have to have 2 guys on there to do a half-hour show, but they both work cheap, thank God. Good guys, but, and then 6:30 we got the Mets and the Marlins on. Now, you following this? On QAM we got the Marlin game, but the Panther game at 7 o'clock, the pregame, the game at 7:30, that's on Waxy 790 because the Panthers take hind seat. Rhymes with teat is what they take. There's 4, what are there? 6 games left for the Panthers. Only one of them will be broadcast on QAM. The others all on Waxy 790. And let me say it again. I predict there will be more people at the Panther game tonight than there will be at the Marlins game. I could be wrong, but that's my prediction, okay? And I'm willing to bet a lot of somebody else's money on it. Speaking of somebody else's something, here Greg Reed comes in here who just can't, we used to see him so rarely down there on the second floor, We loved it down there. And here, like every couple of minutes, he's popping that head in the door with that bad haircut and his disease that he's spreading around. He brought us some great tickets, though, for tonight's Panther Bruins game. I'll give them away to somebody who can identify. What I'll do is I'll just pick numbers out of the air. I'll pick a number out of the air from a certain team, and if you can tell me the player that wears that uniform number, I'll give you the tickets. How's that? What are you laughing about?
Great idea.
I don't have any book here or anything. I'll do it out of the top of my own head. And of course, if I tell you the number, you can bet your life that it's right, okay? I don't screw around. I know my numbers. I know a good number when I see one. These are section 133, row 1, seats 9 and 10 for tonight's Panther Bruins game. Row 1, right up there against the glass. You can be just like those Petunia Pig jock sniffers, you know, the ones that come up before the game and stick their big Petunia Pig noses up against the glass. Yeah, they're snorting and puffing and huffing to get a whiff. Like when Ray Whitney comes out there with his jock strap on, you know, and nothing else. Row 1. You won't see the game, of course, in row 1, but you'll feel very important. And plus the club parking pass, which will help get you in and out of there in no time. The yellow parking pass, that's the good one for the club parking. Right there in front, right by the old escalator. Anybody want these tickets?
No.
Come on, I want to hear from some people that are choosing between all these important sports events. I don't know if this has ever happened before in the history of this town. We got the Marlins, the Panthers, and the Heat all on the same night. A trifecta. People are out there right now just, they don't know which hand to wipe with. They're so confused about it. What a tough choice on how to kill 3 or 4 hours in this godforsaken place. Here's a mobile in Fort Lauderdale. Hello.
Hi, God.
Yes, sir.
When are we going to have one of them baseball games over in Serbia? Send over one of the Canadian teams.
That's next week.
With the Discovery cards.
Yeah.
And I'll take some tickets, and I'd like to hear...
Okay, here's Pinecrest. Hello.
Hello?
Pinecrest, yes, sir.
Hi, Neil. How you doing?
Okay.
Well, you caught me off guard.
That's good.
First of all, Milosevic, that's him.
Milosevic, yeah.
Yeah. I hope Clinton doesn't pull a Bush and leave him in like
Clinton's
he left,
pulled a Bush or two in his time.
like he left Saddam Hussein in.
Yeah.
Like, get rid of that bastard.
Now we're going to get rid of this son of a bitch. We're going to hang him by his nuts.
Or something else.
Mm-hmm.
And the Panthers tonight, I'll be there. Only because I spent $120 and I couldn't get rid of my tickets.
All right, we'll see you there, pal. Thanks for the vote of confidence. Oh. Yeah, let's start selling some tickets. Anybody got some tickets to sell out there?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And we'll just take the money and leave town. Oh, I got to get that story about. I got all kinds of good stuff here, like Rick Riley always says. See, Rick Riley says it, but he never comes up with the good stuff. You know, you're a good guy, Rick, in your own bizarre, peculiar... George is not shaking his head. No, you're not. Well, whatever you are. It's just a joke. You don't like Rick Riley. You never did.
We ended on a high note. We had our ups and downs. We ended up.
That isn't responsive to what I just said, and you know it, okay? I know Rick is listening because he always said...
I love this show.
Right. But for you, you're usually like fairly forthcoming, although sometimes you're full of crap, and this is one case. Just because you know that they're both listening right now, you like Suds.
I like Suds a lot.
I like
Rick
Suds
and
a lot,
I
too.
mended our fences.
But you don't like him.
We ended on a positive note.
You don't like him, though.
There are things I don't like about him. There are
Like
things
what?
I do
What
like.
don't you like about him? Besides his arrogance and...
Are we talking personally or the show?
Both.
The show, I don't like the stock market or stock car crap.
Oh, fair value is minus, yeah.
And personally, I think he could use a parenting lesson or two.
Just because he's trying to kill his kids?
Or no, he's
It's a lot
letting them
cheaper
kill
that way.
themselves.
It's a lot cheaper that way. Yeah, well, then you don't get blamed for it if they kill themselves. You're just relentless. You really are. Rick is a good guy. He's just misunderstood. Now, of course, I never liked him that much. No, he's all right. Well, seriously, he's like an enigma. If you look up the word enigma in the dictionary, you'll see the picture of Rick Riley. He's difficult to figure out, you know? Well, you see his picture there or Greg Reed? No, Greg is not an enigma. We got him figured out a long time ago. Did the letters BS come to mind? 9 minutes after, so anyway, I got to get to the story about the pill peddling lady there, the pill pusher, since we've been talking about doctors and all this stuff that goes on with these medications, all these pill pushers out there. Look at this. I'm giving away tickets in the front row at the Panther game tonight. The Panthers and the Bruins in the front row. And I still got an open line on there. Oh, God. These numbers keep coming out. The numbers keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger. We got ratings that haven't been invented yet, and we can't get the response we're looking for because our audience doesn't give a flying crap about these things, which is why I keep bringing them up, just to piss them off. Look at that. In fact, just as I said that, somebody else dropped off. How about if we put a $1,000 bill attached to each ticket and $1 million in cash small bills attached to the parking pass? Would that do it for you?
No. Ignorant slut.
Rick Riley stole my briefcase.
Yes.
I like to fart in his face. That's Marmy Dink, what gives him the right. Oh! I think his wife ought to bite it off tonight. Rick Riley stole my briefcase. What a disgrace to the human race. Oh, Rick, you're a schmuck. Hank Goldberg sucks. That wheel of meat should also include Rick Riley's butt. Oh, Rick Riley stole my briefcase. I like a fart in his face. Rick Riley, you're an asshole.
11:15. We like Rick. He's all right. It's 11:15 at 560 WQM. So anyway, we're screwing up the show, and you know, if that's another reason. I guarantee we did a lot better downstairs on the second floor than we'll eventually do up here because Greg Reed can't stop sticking his nose in here. I know he thinks he's trying to do a nice thing for us, giving away these tickets right there in the front row. But every time we start doing giveaways, we were doing fine. We were doing great. We had some real good pseudo-intellectual conversations on there about slimy Yugoslavia and stuff like that. About let's send Daniel Bastard to a Guantanamo and have our way with him. You first. Can you feel that? Not hear it. Can you feel it? This show is not going to continue as long as that goes on. I'm telling you that right now. They're mixing again at Power. They're doing the mix at Power 96. So loud that the walls may crumble down in its place. Like the walls of Jericho came tumbling down, the walls of QAM may come tumbling down any moment now. Boy, that was quick response. That was quick action. You sports nerds that work over in the other studio, which is at least, thank God, farther down the hall in the other direction, just kiss the ground that you're over there and not over here. Because evidently somewhere along the line, although they're not even like next door to us, when I was banging on the wall that day, it had no impact because they're way the hell down the hall to my left. Way down there. So maybe it's coming through the vents. I don't know where it's coming from. Maybe it's coming from there. I don't know what it is. But pipe it down, okay? We know you're big shots with your Julio music down there at Power 96 with your hoochie coochie crap. But all those 10-year-old kids that you program to are in school right now, so we're all unimpressed, okay? Oh, that's right, in Dade they're out. Oh, that's what it is. The kids are out in Dade this week. That's why they're cranking it up in the music, too. Anyway, here's some more giveaways, okay? Because we know it gets people pissed off. Well, it's to promote our buddy Joey. I never knew anybody called him Joey. Huh? Well, Chris, the nephew, calls him Joey. You know, they're pretty tight. Come meet the host of the new Motorsports Saturday show, our own buddy Joey Costello, from noon to 1 today at the Shell Station, US 1 in Southwest 27th Avenue in the Grove. We evidently have some listeners down there, so that's why the nephew keeps going back there, because that's the only place he knows how to find. And score a pair of tickets to the opening weekend of the American Racing League Auto Races at the Homestead Motorsports Complex. Our own George Corso, by the way, who should be spending a lot more time engineering and a lot less time driving race cars, but he'll be racing his bright yellow number 2 BMW this weekend. Gates open at 8 a.m. Saturday and Sunday. We also have 2 pair of tickets to the Heat Dallas Mavericks game at the arena tonight and a pair of tickets to the Panthers Bruins game at the Rectal Center tonight. So they'll be there noon to 1, just in about 40 minutes or thereabouts. You can say hi to the nephew, say, God, you're boring. And hi to Joe Costello and say, don't call me Joey, he'll tell you.
He hates that, by the way.
What? Joey?
Joey.
Well, and I never, you look at him, he don't look like a Joey to me. He's just plain Joe. Like Joe Mama. So meet Joe and Chris, okay? Call them whatever you want. Say, give me the freebies, assholes. That'll be okay. Noon to 1 at the Shell Station, US 1 in Southwest 27th Avenue in the Grove. We're just giving all kinds of stuff away. There's still like that festive holiday mood in the air, you know? Or is it just because everybody's bailed out of town now that the holidays are over? Is Pesach over yet, by the way? I don't think so. It's 8 days. Started what, last one? I think we got like in the last day or two here, right? 3, 4, 5, huh? Tomorrow? Enough of the Pesach already. Enough of the stale matzah, for Christ's sakes. And stop with the Jewish beanie babies at those hockey games. Man, I burst into tears every time I see another one of those kids with a beanie on his head. I say, you goddamn parents, you. What is wrong with you doing that to your kids? Just like your accountant. Does he have kids?
One.
Boy?
Very, very young boy.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
Boy!
Talk about tourists. Can you imagine what kind of upbringing that kid's going to have? He's going to make the nanny look pale into insignificance. He's going to have that kid tied up in straps and ropes and davening back and forth with a little miniature babushka and thing on there. Here's Pembroke Pines. Hello.
Hey, Neil, how's it going?
Great.
You have any Marlin tickets?
No.
No. How do you win the Panther tickets now?
How do you win them?
Yeah.
You sound like a Bruins fan.
Me?
Where are you from?
No, it's in New York, actually.
Oh, you're from New York. Well, it's the same difference. How do you win them?
Yeah.
I asked you who's number 5 on the Montreal Canadiens.
Number 5?
Yeah. Okay, now see, they'll look that up, so I'll keep changing it, to somebody different number. I mean, just picking these out of my head. Anybody who's a real hockey fan should know these things. 5670560. I mean, that's an easy way. I mean, if you're a real fan, you know the numbers of most of the players in the league. I'm not going to ask you anybody like new and bizarre that anybody never heard of before, or that you can't pronounce, or that's got like only 87 syllables. Here's North Miami. Hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
Good yontif.
And back to you.
Anyway, I was watching MSNBC.
The MSNBC?
They should rename it the War and Destruction Channel.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, a little news for that guy, that served over there. The Germans, during the Blitzkrieg, took Yugoslavia with 20 divisions.
Yeah.
250,000 men, 3 weeks.
Right.
They spent the next 3 years fighting guerrillas in the hills and lost over 100,000 men.
I remember that movie, Gorillas in the Hills. Wasn't Merv Griffin in that?
So you do the numbers. If they call me up, I'm going to be like a gay Rastafarian.
Okay.
That's my deal.
Yeah, man.
Yes, sir. I'm driving around with my girlfriend's kid,
Mm-hmm.
listening to you, and now all she's doing is walking around going, oh! Oh!
Okay. God bless you, sir.
Have a good one.
Okay. Hold up a banana and see if that works, okay? She's obviously very impressionable. 5670560, pound 560 on the, maybe a cucumber on the AT&T wireless line. Or maybe one of those baby carrots in some of our cases. They're never going to win these tickets if I do it this way, Isn't this a great revelation to the entire audience?
Yes.
I'll pick numbers that are so obvious and they still won't know who they are. Which really just breaks my heart. That we're in such a bastion of ignorance, of lack of knowledge. I mean, you pick the subject, they don't know. George was telling me just a few minutes ago, he said if we got all these lines lit up, he said the dumbest people in the world are right here now in this town, and they're all on hold. And I said, here's Miami. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Hi, Neil. How are you?
Great.
Thank you for taking my call.
Thank you for making your call.
First of all, I want to say I know you're a great hockey fan.
Yes, I am.
I'm a huge hockey fan.
I'm the hockey maven, sir. Last night I watched Carolina with a very mediocre game. They beat New Jersey, and I watched Buffalo and the Islanders.
I'm just learning about hockey and all that, and I really enjoy it much better than baseball.
Baseball is so boring, man. It is so boring.
I've been to maybe one Marlins game.
I got that baseball package on a small dish, and we were flipping it around last night, and even Justin Thompson was pitching for the Tigers, and didn't score any runs for him again. And even that I couldn't stand. I mean, so long. Throw the ball already. Make a pitch. Do something. When is something going to happen here already, okay?
It's really, really boring.
Terrible.
Baseball.
Terminal.
Basketball is really, I went to my first game not too
Yeah.
long ago, and I mean, I wanted to leave after the
That's
first.
a Schwarzer sport. That's a freak sport. That's not for real people.
Hockey is really entertaining.
Hockey is a
it's really,
sport for real
there's a lot of
people, for
action,
white people, right?
Even though a lot of people that do go, they're just going to be seen and who's there and who's not there. I admit it. Sometimes when I go, I want to know who's there and who's not
See,
there.
if these people would go out and buy the damn small dish and get the hockey package and start watching other games, and if the writers in this town would write about the whole league instead of just like there's only one team in the world, which, by the way, it's a pretty marginal team anyway, then these people might learn something.
These writers are pathetic.
Instead of having Denise Potvin on this station once a week talking crap, which is what he talks.
Back to the...
This is Denise Potvin. I'm going to tell you, here's a guy, I think it was the game in Washington last week, I'm sure it was. We're down 4-3, okay? There's 2 minutes to go. The Capitals get a stupid penalty, okay? So now we pull the goalie. We put an extra attacker out there to try to tie the game. And Denise Potvin says, Terry Murray, he's really going a hard ball in this game. He's not going to play for a tie. He's pulling the goalie out now with this much time left. He wants to win. And Rimmer says to him, yeah, Dennis, but you got to tie it first, you asshole, you frog, you idiot. And then we put this Denise Potvin on here, on this station, pretending he knows something about the game just because he played it. God, is he dumb. But anyway, go ahead.
But,
hey, Joey.
Anyway, I would like to...
Hey, Mr. Rory, that's a big job.
Go ahead. What is it?
I would like to answer your question here, not taking...
Well, if you don't know anything about hockey, how are you going to know the answer?
No, but, I'll try it.
All right, number 27 on the Buffalo Sabres. Number 27.
Who?
Okay, we have an open line. You know something? We could do this from now until 7 years from next Sukkot, and I could say like number 44 on the Panthers. I could say that and they still wouldn't know. They'd say, yeah. Boy, I'm so embarrassed. I'm so humiliated. Now, what was Pot Van saying on Hank's show the other day, which I thought was even more embarrassing?
A lot of spooks in New Jersey.
Yeah. You're an idiot, Denny. You're a moron. You're a bozo. Yeah, he's really trying. He's not going to settle for a tie. How do you settle for a tie when you're behind 4-3 with 2 minutes left in the game and you pull the goalie so you have a 6-on-4 to try to tie the game up? How do you settle for a tie, you idiot? Never have dumber words come out of a human mouth than Denise Potvin. Man, bozo. Bozo. In fact, Bozo is embarrassed. I take that back. I apologize to Bozo. Because he was a hell of a lot smarter than that Denise Potvin.
A lot of spooks in New Jersey.
Yeah. No wonder they used to sing that song in New York, okay?
I feel really, really sorry.
Yes.
By the way, if you can't make out what they're saying Pot Van sucks.
Play. Good for second here by the Rangers. Keeping the bottom up in their own zone. Now, Boston cross left the Marlin with the moment. Trying to get out. Oh, he hit hard by back. And Marlin is down on the ice. Yes! It certainly does. Bounce from the Marlin. Nice cry. Oh!
11:31 at 5:60. What can you say about Denise Potvin except
dumb jock?
Yeah, that's all needs to be said. Judge refuses to set bail for pill mill physician. This is one of the most disgusting stories, and it's right on line with what I've been talking about the last few days about doctors and pills and killing people with prescription drugs. I'll get to this in a little bit, okay, after we kill this thing with these tickets, after we kill the show with the tickets. Man, what a story. And how come this is like way down there in the local section in the Sun Sentinel? This ought to be on the front page of the front section. Unbelievable. But anyway. Here's a mobile in Fort Lauderdale. Hello? Mobile in Fort Lauderdale. Going once. Going twice. It's the dreaded line 4 again. That doesn't disconnect. Here's Sunrise. Hello?
Hi, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Last Friday I had the dubious experience of seeing the mighty Miami Matadors' last home game.
Yes?
It was...
Won't see them no more.
It was pathetic. It was terrible because these guys, unlike the guys at the Mac Arena, were hustling their heart out.
Well,
you know they're going to be.
That sounds great, but this is not a hockey town, and I told them right off the bat, I don't want nothing to do with it. It's not going to fly here, and forget it. You're dreaming.
If they exaggerate, they had 300 people in attendance.
Yeah.
100 from Jacksonville.
Right.
I mean, the Jacksonville people came down, 5-hour trip. Miami just doesn't buy that.
They're not into it. They're not interested. They know nothing about it. And the other thing is just a bizarre social phenomenon. It's got nothing to do with hockey. Nothing.
But me, like you, I grew up in upstate New York. But I had mostly Ranger coverage.
Right.
And I grew up a Ranger fan. We didn't get a lot of the Canadian TV of Buffalo, but I went to school in Boston. Then, of course, they made the trade with the Bruins. Rattel and Park, and Joe Zanussi.
No, we don't want to go back to that, please.
Okay,
please,
but I would just want to tell you, I'm a Bruins fan.
Right.
I'll confess to it, and I'd like the tickets, but what I will do, if you give me the tickets, I'll give you the information. I will order a couple of the Center One CDs. I'll do it right now with my Visa or MasterCard.
Right, so in other words, you're changing the rules here in midstream? He's telling me how I'm going to give the tickets away. Didn't I just make it very clear how I'm going to do it? I don't want to hear about Brad Park and John Rattel and guys that played 30 years ago. See, this is what goes on. Every time you bring up sports in this town, you get these old farts that want to talk about Johnny Bauer and Frank Mahovlich and Davey Keon, which is all great. That's another lifetime. I'm talking about now. That was then. This is now. This is the way I'm doing it, sir. We raise a lot of money for Center One. I love Center One. But don't try to change the rules in midstream. Please, sir. When you get your own show, then you figure out how to give your tickets away. Man! You're right, George. Well, for once in his life, George was right. God! Damn! Here's Miami. Hello.
Hello, Neil.
Yes.
I've been a big Leafs fan for years, and
Yes?
did you know that they have Joe Bolin and the Leafs broadcast on the internet?
Of course I do. I listen to it all the time.
I always listen to that. The game they played
The
against
only
Boston.
problem is Joe Bowen isn't on most of the Leafs broadcast on the internet because he's doing the games on TV.
Well, true.
Whoever does the games on radio for the Leafs sucks this year. I don't know who that is.
Yeah.
The only time you hear Joe Bowen on the internet is Saturday night.
Did you hear his
Leafs
call
is on
their
ABC.
2-2 Boston tie?
Did I hear what?
The call he had on the 2-2 Boston tie?
No.
Oh, it was so incredible.
Well, that's right. He would be doing that game on radio because it was Saturday night, right?
Well, whoever was doing it.
He would be doing it. It was Saturday night. He does the radio on Saturdays when the game is on CBC with Bob Cole and Harry Neal, and then during the week he's on TV. But he would be doing that game on radio. Yes, I'm agreeing with you, sir.
Oh,
yes, you're right.
But he had a great call when Joseph made the save, and then they went back to score the goal.
Right.
Is there a
where
way?
is it? Aren't you going to play it for us?
I have it at home, but I'm not.
Oh, jeez. Well, I
have it recorded.
I got to have it.
I'll get you.
I love Joe Bowen.
I'll try to get it to you.
He's a god.
Is there any way I could get the tickets?
Number 18 on the Leafs is 5670560. Well, he said he was a Leaf fan. Didn't he say that? He just got through telling me that. He's a Maple Leaf fan. He's supposed to know his hockey, this guy. My God, they'll take away his Visa and his MasterCard and his the passport, too, when he gets to the passport control up there next time at Pearson. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Boy, man, I am so out of touch with what's going on in this town. I'm on a different planet. I'm glad this is happening today. It proves to me beyond a shadow of a doubt that the things in life that I have any interest in whatsoever, the important things, they don't know from down here. All they know is guacamole and horse crap. That's all they know down here, and horse meat. The Venezuelans eat horse meat. That's what Sam said. Here's a mobile in Miami. Hello.
Hi, Neil. How you doing?
Great.
I might qualify. I know who Pat Burns and the Bomber are.
Yeah, that's good.
To start.
Yeah.
Trying to win those tickets, even though it'll probably be a 1-0 game.
Okay, number 81 on the Buffalo Sabres is...
Shatan?
All right! Oh! Whoa! Oh! I almost just wet my pants. Hold on, sir. Miroslav Shatan, 36th goal of the season last night for the Sabres, by the way. Hell of a player. We should only have a player like that on this team. There's the winner. Let's hear it, boys and girls. I have a party in my pants. I'm serious. I almost dropped the load right when he said that. God, I am in a state of shock. You could knock me over with a goddamn with a noodle. That we have a guy in there that actually knows something about the greatest sport in the world, okay? Of course, it's Satan. I know the religious people are going to get upset. It's Satan, okay? Man, that just made me feel almost human again. Thank God for you, sir, whoever you are. Thank the Lord for you. These other people, that guy that says he's a Leafs fan, I asked him, number 18, Alan McCauley, for crying out loud. You don't know that? What's wrong with you, sir? Shame on you. You better get your goddamn program out. You better get up there to the Air Canada Center right now and sit there and wait for practice. Because practice makes perfect. Who are we playing? Oh, Ottawa. That's right. The Leafs. Home and home with Ottawa. That should be bad. All right, now let's get back to doing a radio show here and quit giving this garbage away. That was an excellent exercise. I enjoyed that, though. By the way, Stefan Quintal is number 5 for the Montreal Canadiens. What was the other one I asked? I don't even remember the other number I asked. Something simple, something easy. And they still don't know it. And now they're starting with the music again down the hall, by the way.
I was told that our PD spoke to their PD, who spoke to whatever punk kid is mixing today, and we wouldn't have a problem with it.
Well, guess what? We got a problem with it again because he's mixing too goddamn loud again down there at the end of the hall. Kid Curry. And we don't care what great cheeks Anna Squeak had. We don't care what she had a big ass. The fact is that your punks down there are mixing too loud. Man. Remember Mick, what was his name? Nick Mixon used to be on WBBF in Rochester. Oh, Nixon. Whatever it was. We're working with crazy people up here on the 3rd floor. The only time we ever had the problem downstairs on the 2nd floor, and again, it was a Power 96 problem, was Kid Curry again, playing that music too loud in the office there. Cranking it. He was cranking it, and then we had Lee, what was his name, Cutler down there. He was spanking it in the room next to her. They were cranking it and spanking it. Loud. This is supposed to be a radio station. No respect for the broadcast studios, for the people on the air. We're not even talking about music that's on the air. This guy's, he's just in there playing with himself and, cranking the bass down the hallway. Not even on the air on power. And if Pussy Galore over here would go down there and really take care of this business instead of just sending a note in a bottle down the hall, that was embarrassing. Go down there and bitch him out, okay? Tell him we're trying to do a high-rated radio show here. And you're interfering with it down the goddamn hallway. And Greg Reed's walking around the hall. After he saw that ad, you hear what he said?
Yeah.
Yeah. After he saw that stupid ad in the Marlins opening day program, he said,
Yeah.
Nice going. Nice reaction there, Greg. Well, I'm firing Sam right away.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Like I told George before, Sam could go in there and drop 17 pounds of steaming hot human excrement right on Greg's desk. And Greg would say, how you doing, Sam? One moment, please. See, this happened yesterday when Joe got up to go out and take a leak during the middle of a break. And now George got up and walked out, and the thing just stopped in there. It just stopped, the audio fault. So don't worry about the rest. Is that the last spot, I hope, of the break? Or was there more?
The last spot. I'll make it up in the next one.
What do you mean?
We'll have a 5-minute break. Unless you want me to play it now.
No, we don't want no 5-minute break. Play it now, please.
This is Hank Goldberg. As honorary chairman, I'm inviting you to join me and some fellow celebrity sportcasters at the Junior Achievement Celebrity Invitational Golf Tournament taking place Thursday, April 8th, 8 a.m. at Doral. Junior Achievement helps our young people value education, understand business and economics, and be workforce ready. You can help by purchasing a corporate foursome for $2,500. Single entries are also available. Either way, I encourage you to come out and play on Thursday, April 8th. It's at Doral on the golf course. Call 305-534-1388.
Give your brain the day off and listen to the big dog, Depot and Goldie. Mornings at 6, only on Sports Radio 560 QAM.
Neil Rocky tonight on Modern Marvels. They were the pioneers of a lifestyle that to this day is enjoyed in men's rooms everywhere.
I think it was back in 22, me and the boys drilled the first hole in Woolworths. They were hand-drilled back then.
Take a peep into the secret society of men who first developed the glory hole to today's high-tech adventurers.
I'm told that now they're using lasers for speed.
Modern Marvels, Glory Holes, tonight on the Hysterical Channel.
We'll be listening and watching and peeking. It's 11:45 at 560 WQM. We got the noise level down there at the other end of the hall. We got some prepubescent children. See, there's too many children running around this place playing radio. That's the problem in this whole building because they work cheap and some of them aren't even getting paid. Hey, I'm playing radio, like that one kid on the morning show. Hey, don't forget Joe Castello and the nephew are out there in the QAM van. Starting in just a few minutes from noon to 1 today. Got a whole bunch of crap to give away to you. I'm not going to go through the whole thing again, okay? Because, Joe, the host of Motorsports Saturday, this is to try to pump up that show. Anything we can do for our buddy, little Joey. Well, how is little Joey, by the way? I haven't heard from him in a dog's age. We don't hear from any of those people anymore. You notice that? How they've all abandoned us since we moved up in the world here on the third floor? Like the Jeffersons, we're moving on up to a place where the walls are crumbling down. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T line. Here's Doral. Hello.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Hey, good morning.
Buenos dias.
I haven't talked to you for a while. God, what's the first thing I was going to tell you? Oh, that little hockey contest you did was pretty good. Did you notice no women called trying for that?
We don't have any women call anyway. We haven't had any. It's almost noon. We haven't had a woman call today, have we?
No.
No.
Another thing, I hate Kid Curry. God, I can't stand that guy. Another thing, did you finally get to see...
I mean, what kind of class does it take to be running around telling us that his wife had a big ass? We already know that,
You know that he constantly talks about her in his show.
Well, I don't listen. I don't listen to that radio station at all.
He used to, and I used to listen to the station a long time ago, but now the music is just really bad, and I just don't listen to that station
it's the worst.
Did you finally get to see The Shawshank Redemption?
No.
That's a very, very good movie.
Yeah.
Very good. If you do not want to go and rent it...
But I did see some of the Sharks Phoenix game last night.
If you don't want to rent it, on Saturday, on TNT at 8 o'clock, they're going to show it. I think it's 8 or 9. But, of course, you're going to see 500 commercials, and they're going to cut out...
Well, wait a minute.
More noise?
Just for a second. I'm gonna tell you something seriously. If this stuff doesn't stop, I'm gonna get up and walk out of this building. I'm not joking. This is, how many times does the program director have to go down there physically? I don't know what kind of a retard they got down there. Listen to that. You can hear it. You can feel it. The walls are thumping, okay? I don't work in a thumping place. If I'm thumping, then it's got to do with something else beside this, okay? This is not acceptable. Go ahead, sir, whatever you're saying.
Is there a way you could put the mic up to the wall so we can hear what you hear?
Yeah, the mic is on a stand. We can't do that. It's on a...
All right. Well, if you don't want to rent it, like I said on Saturday on TNT, they'll show it. But
okay.
Renting it, you get to see everything, and it's a really, really well done movie. It's really well. And
okay.
That's it.
Thanks for the good
news.
news.
Have a nice day.
I will. I'm going to enjoy being home early today. I'm not joking. You think I'm joking? I'm going to walk out. I've never walked off a show in my life in 200 years in the business. I am going to walk out because it's obvious that they don't care in this place. And whatever he's doing in there doesn't need to be done in there now anyway. That's not on the air. Right? Right.
They're warming up, I'm sure.
Well, what do you mean they're warming up? What does that
practice.
mean? Practice what?
They're live mixing.
Practice their live mixing. Tell them to mix this, okay? What?
It's supposed to have been taken care of. And I told him, guess
he
what, it's
keeps
not.
telling you he's taking care of it, and I keep it stops for 30 seconds, and then the walls start crumbling down again in here. It's supposed to be taken care of. Where's the general manager of this goddamn radio station who's running around with bull crap, huh? Talking crap. This is almost a month we've been in this room, and with the exception of 1 or 2 other days when they started down the hall there, obviously they can do whatever they do without making this racket because we don't have it the rest of the time. We didn't have it up till just a few minutes ago for whatever kind of horse crap radio they're playing down there. And now it's like boom, 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 like this. My kishkis are getting twisted. I'm starting to get those pains back again. That's what it's from. Boom, 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 crap. Power 96, they should only shut that thing off the air, get a goddamn public service medal for shutting that crap down. All those 12-year-old little spit girls, they're all in school right now anyway, okay? They're all in reform school or somewhere. Christ almighty, what a place. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Here's a mobile in Miami. Hello.
Hi, Neil.
Yes, sir.
I'm glad I don't have to win those tickets because I have no idea of anybody's number.
Well, that's good. At least you're honest about it.
I got my own. And I can
Your
see
number?
Nemirovsky's number peeking out of there, number 5-something. That's all I can see out of it.
51.
Yeah.
And he's not here anymore.
Okay, he's a picture on the ticket. That's how I know that.
Oh, there you go, Ryan. That's good.
That's about it.
Okay, thank you, sir. Excellent. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T line. We got 200 open lines now. All of a sudden, we were doing great here today. We're having a fine day. All of a sudden, everything's going right in the old crapper, okay? Like I said, they throw as many impediments in your way as they possibly can in this place. They give you no promotion. They spell your name wrong in some stupid ad in the goddamn magazine that nobody who listens to the show reads anyway. And that's their idea of the assistants. Like Greg comes in yesterday when you were out sick. Oh, good job on the trends. Good. Yeah, I said, there's a good job on this show on the trends every month, every rating book, every year. Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah. I says, how about doing something for us? And then he turned around and walked out. I mean, maybe leaving is what I had in mind, but nevertheless, as soon as he heard that, he turned around and walked out because it might have involved some expenditure of money, which they don't have. Which they don't have because every dime, that's why they're out there with 2,500 salespeople pounding the streets. You want to buy some Marlins?
No.
$1 a spot.
No.
50 cents.
No.
Quarter.
No.
We'll pay you.
No.
Because they got to be selling. Didn't I predict this when we were on with Paxson? When they made this deal? Oh, yeah, we got the Dolphins and the Marlins and the Panthers and, the sports station. I predicted it then. No matter how much money they bill in this place, they'll never, ever be able to make that money back so they can pay Baldy and John Henry. Almost $4 million a year, the radio rights. Just for the Marlins. Just for the Marlins. Do you know how many spots they have to sell to make the $4 million back? So they can pay John Henry to walk around and say, hey, we won a game, we won a game. You want to build us a stadium?
No.
Huh? But in the meantime, at least have a little Rachmanis for us. At least give us a place up here. This was supposed to be a big deal. Oh, we're moving on up to the 3rd floor. It's going to be great. Beautiful state-of-the-art studios. We're in a goddamn thumping box. That's what we're in. We're tub thumping it is what we're doing. Somebody's over there thumping it. Maybe that's what they all got the naked pictures of in this place, huh? There's too much thumping going on up here on the 3rd floor. And obviously they have tremendous respect for a Pussy Galore over here next door. It only took 17 trips of his down the hallway to say to Kid Curry, hey, cut the crap, you assholes. The battle of the program directors we got here, only we don't have one. We got a PG, not a PD. That's what we got. Tone it down to a goddamn dull roar down there. Here's a mobile in West Palm Beach. Hello.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Hey, instead of hockey players' numbers, you should be asking who the drummers are in certain bands.
Yeah, that's tomorrow.
Hey, and also I have another thing. There's a big conspiracy with these Albanians bringing them to Cuba. Because from Cuba, they go to Miami, and guess what happens? The Albanians will change the names of the streets to Albanian names.
Oh, thank you for reminding me, by the way. Thank you, sir. Even though it was a very boring call. He's right. Senate okay's naming street for Mas Canosa. How about one for Judy Canova? That sounds like Mas Canosa. I want to make a response before I get into this thing, which of course is in the Herald. Big headline in the local Miami-Dade section. No Mas. That's what I say. No Mas. Enough of this crap. Florida Senate voted Wednesday to name a downtown Miami portion of Biscayne Boulevard Jorge Mas Canosa Boulevard for the late chairman of the Cuban-American National Foundation. The name change, of course sponsored by Senators Mario Diaz-Balart and Roberto Casas, cleared the Senate unanimously as part of a larger road naming bill that now heads to the House. The family asked to do that, Casas said in an interview. Jorge Mas Canosa was a freedom fighter, a member of the 2506 Brigade. He's done a lot for the people of Cuba, and that's the reason. Jorge Mas Canosa Boulevard would run past the Freedom Tower, which served as an entry point for Cuban exiles coming to Miami, and is now owned by the Mas family. The designation would apply to a stretch of Biscayne Boulevard between Northeast 6th and 16th Streets. Oh, and we're not done, by the way, yet. Wait till you hear the rest of this. The Senate also agreed to add in the road naming bill a block in Little Havana for Armando Perez, the Cuban-American owner of a Nicaraguan restaurant called Yambo. The name for that part of Southwest 1st Street, Armando Perez, Yambo Boulevard. Are you following this, folks? Senator Alberto Gutman sponsored that change. Armando Perez is a guy who is the epitome of the American dream. He says he took that block in Little Havana that was run down like a city block in a war zone and turned it into a center for the Nicaraguan community. And then kind of last but not least is a throwaway here, because there might be 2 or 3 Schwarzes reading the newspaper. The bill also includes a new name, Carrie P. Meek Boulevard for Northwest 27th Avenue, Miami-Dade, from 58th Street to the Broward County line. The change was sponsored by the Congresswoman's son, Senator Kendrick Meek, Democrat of Miami. The bill cleared the Senate 36 to, So that's kind of like we're at the ass end there. But the headline says, Senate okays naming street for Mas Canosa. And it just goes on and on and on. And you wonder why most of us moved to Broward, huh? You wonder? Oh, boy.
Está estrangulando el pollo para acá.
It's erection time. I'm gonna kick off my shoes, strip off my dress. It makes me wet when I see you get a big erection that's too big for my mouth. I want it mercenary and on top of you, and take it up my lubricated poop suit. Give me an erection and nail me to the wall. E-R-E-C-T-I-O-N. I want to drain your balls. I want your love and wally on me when you shoot your Uzi, and then I'll give it a blow. In the morning it gets as big as this, at least until you take a piss. I want to wrap my lips around your pulsing tube and make your Wonder Worm explode with fluid. That's some erection, and it's uncircumcised. E-R-E-C-T-I-O-N. I want to drain your balls. E-R-E-C-T-I-O-N.
2 minutes after noon at 560 WQM, where the walls are literally crumbling down here. They really are, in every respect. It's just coming unglued, this joint. Got a nice lunch here from our buddy at, where did we get this from today? Tony's, that's right, Tony's. What's the guy's name? Matt. How come they got a place? Brad, like I said, I don't know. At this point, my mind is like unglued. I was doing so great. I feel so much better. I'm nursing myself back to health. And all of a sudden, like, you're in here for a couple of hours and they're like messing with it. They're effing with your brain again. They're effing with your brain, with your life, with your livelihood. But we'll get through it. Make no mistake about it. Nice Greek salad here today. Low carb, nice feta cheese. Those Greeks knew how to do it. Here's Pembroke Pines. Hello.
Hey, Neil, how's it going?
Okay, great.
Oh, boy, I don't know about the Panthers, man. I'll tell you.
I do. They suck.
Well, that's true.
Why
but
do you say you don't know? Well, I mean, what kind of...
I'm
what
still behind the team, but I can understand why they can't pull it together somewhat.
What does that mean? It's you guys, you remind me of the guys in the morning show. They lack talent. Don't you understand? Don't you see the personnel out there? Forgetting about the injuries. Forget about Pavel Bure. He wasn't here when the season started. Anybody with a brain could look out here and say this is a mediocre team. They lack talent.
That's true.
Too many stiffs.
Yeah, they traded away a lot of good guys, and other guys are hurt.
Yeah.
So, I mean...
But before the guys got hurt, they went into a swoon. Carolina rolled over and put their legs up in the air and said, okay, let's have your way with us. And this team rolled over and died.
That's true. That's true. Lack of talent, and I think lack of passion for play.
And lack of coaching and lack of front office smarts.
Yeah, we need Murray brothers got to go.
That's right.
Got to go.
And I don't hear that on the morning show, by the way.
Well, it's because we're afraid to say it.
The 20 or 25 minutes that they repeated again this morning, the same old bullcrap again, scratching each other's heads, wondering what do we got to do. I didn't hear any of that.
That's because they're ass kissers.
Yeah, that's right.
Plain and simple.
3 ass kissers on a morning show, and they wonder why we got these mediocre numbers in the morning, and why we can't make our secondary bonuses because the morning show blows.
Exactly.
Right.
Hey, I'd like to take a stab at your game.
Take a stab at what game?
Try to guess a number from a team.
Okay, 69.
From?
The guy talking about that. Well, how about that? And 6 hours ago, and this guy's still doing numbers. 69 from your
rectum.
Yeah, get out of here. This guy was serious. He wants to take a stab at my game. Well, I'll tell you what. I don't have any more tickets, but you want to do that the rest of the day? It'll kill some good time. You want to do that?
No.
No, I don't either. That was it was not amazing. It was typical. By the way, how the guys doing out there? How's Joe and the nephew doing out there at the Shell station?
Haven't heard from them.
Yeah, well, hopefully they're busy. They got tickets for you. Go down there and get tickets. You don't even have to answer any questions. They got tickets, 2 pair for the Heat and the Mavericks tonight in the arena. They got a pair for the Panthers and the Bruins at the Rectal Center. And they got pairs of tickets, probably 8 million of them, for the opening weekend of the American Racing League auto races at the Homestead Motorsports Complex. And if you believe that's a real sport, you're crazier than I am. You're crazier than the people down at Power 96. But just make Joe Castello happy and George Corso too. Oh yeah, we love that stuff, you know. And then go and maybe you can scalp them, but I doubt it. You think there's any value in scalping those tickets, by the way?
No.
No. That'd be like trying to scalp tickets for the Panther game tonight. Good luck to you. I mean, I should have known when this guy starts to call saying, oh, I just don't know about it. I mean, how could you not know that? They played 76 games. If you don't know by now, sir, then you're never going to know. How about Frank Mahavlich? What number? Here's Fort Lauderdale. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Neil.
Yes, I am.
God bless you.
God damn it.
Listen, I'm sitting here trying to figure out better ways to absolutely piss off all the companies who hire me as a consultant. You and I are
Walter
kindred...
Sabo?
Huh?
Yeah.
You and I are kindred spirits because you piss everybody off and so do I.
Mm-hmm.
And they keep us around because we make them money. It's a pleasure. But I'm sitting here laughing all morning because you are really at the top of your game this morning.
Yes, I am.
And I had a bad morning. I was hoping my lawyer was going to be able to send one of these assholes a letter, but the guy called me and said he would take care of what he had to do. So I can't send him a letter. Very disappointing.
I hate when that happens.
It doesn't do? I mean, you got a whole thing prepared.
Well, you got the rest of the day, so keep hoping for the worst, okay? You'll like that. He's a consultant. He's hoping for bad crap. Oh, good olives in here. Nothing like Greek olives, you know? Mm. You know where the Greeks used to stick the olives? Oh, don't say it.
Rectum.
Don't do it. Come on. Fine. And then they discovered just putting the olive oil in there would work a lot easier. 5670560 and pound 560 on the mobile one line. Here's Miami. Hello. Here's a call from Jorge Mascanosa, USA. Yes.
Hey, Neil.
Yes.
Lord Neil, I finally got through. Listen,
Yes, sir.
about those 20,000 refugees that are going to Gitmo.
Mm-hmm. They're going to
Don't
get
you
more
think
than
they're
they had
going to be
before, I'll tell you
integrated
that.
into Miami and Fort Lauderdale when they're done with them over there?
Do I
You
think-
actually think they're going to go back
Yes.
to Kosovo?
Yes, they are.
Imagine that. We're going to wind up paying for their medical bills and everything else.
Yeah, and?
They're just going to be 20,000 new
And
Kosovarians.
what would you like to see happen to them, sir? Would you like to see them starve to death and croak and die from disease? Would that make you happy?
No. That's
Then
not it.
Then what's
But
the
they
alternative?
ship them all the way
Then
here.
what is it? What is it?
What they need to do is what they're doing.
Why did
Setting
they
up
tell the
camps
Germans?
over
They got a
there.
lot. Why did they tell the Germans? You got a lot of empty territory up there in Germany. How about we stick them up over there for a while
Right.
instead of
That's
schlepping
what
them all
I'm
the way over to
saying.
Canada and to Guantanamo? That's what I said. You're right.
But they don't want to do it. They're going to
And
integrate it
let the
into
Germans
Miami.
pay for it. By the way, let the damn Germans pay for it. It's starting to a little bit of reparation for all the money that we had to waste and all the lives we had to kill for 2 world wars. How about that? Does that sound good to you?
They're the ones who caused all this problem anyways.
Right.
So let them deal with it.
Well, it ain't going to happen, but good idea. Let the damn Nazis take care of it. Let those Germans take care of it, the Krauts. Are they going to do it?
No.
No. I see Canada's being nice. What are they taking in? 6 people, I think? Well, they got a lot of immigration problems already. They don't want to overdo it. They're nice, but they don't want to be too nice. And by the way, I was only joking about it, but I think it's 5,000 they're taking in. Most of them are going to Quebec.
Oh!
That'll teach those frogs a thing or two. And guess what, Froggy? They don't speak no French. 9 minutes past noon at 560 WQM. Tune in. I know you just heard this recently, but I want to reinforce it. Tune in at what? Hey, listen, we don't care. It was nice that Screw Ann, she stuck her head in the door. Oh, any problems with sales and with copy? Oh, you don't even want to know. Oh, you're right, I don't. Okay, goodbye.
They're there, by the way.
Yeah.
Joe and Chris.
And?
Joey and Chris.
And
nothing. They're there.
I'm in the middle of a spot. Do I care if they're there?
I didn't think you started it yet.
I didn't. But I am now.
By the way.
Clean up the brown stains in your underwear. Clean up, put on another pair. Clean up the cum stains right here on your sheet. Clean up, whenever you beat your meat. Clean up, try some douche, it works the best. Clean up, whenever you have sex. Pandas.
12:14 at 560 WQAM. So they were mobbed down there at the QAM van. There's no more Heat tickets. There's no more Panther tickets. But I got plenty of tickets for the auto races at the Homestead Motorsports Complex this weekend. Anybody want those?
No.
They got QAM bumper stickers, the real boring ones that Sam the Sham made. Those real ugly blue and yellow things that don't say anything. Anybody want those?
No.
Okay, that's it. Well, they're still down there for a little while. That didn't take long. You might just stop down there and say hi to Joey. You don't want to say hi to Chris because he's boring. Here's Boynton Beach. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Neil. I got a long time gripe about the NHL, and I just wondered if you shared it with me. The tie ball games.
The tie what?
The tie games in hockey.
Tie ball games?
Tie games in hockey, okay?
Yeah.
The Panthers have played, about 76 games,
Mhm.
and 18 of them have been tied.
That is correct. That's right, because they don't score any goals and because they can't protect the lead. Right.
More than 20%. There's nothing as depressing as going to a game and having and
I don't agree at all. I couldn't disagree with you more.
There you go. Why?
I don't agree because, when you have too many ties like the Panthers seem to have every year, that's not good because then later on in the year when you're fighting for a playoff spot, even if they would have tied Carolina or anybody else, they still don't get the spot because the first tiebreaker is wins, and if you got all those ties, you obviously have far fewer wins.
Yeah, that's
But there's nothing wrong with it. There are bad ties when you've blown a lead, and there are good ties. When you come from behind, you get a point. That's better than nothing.
Well, the tie game was instituted as a World War II measure because of transportation wasn't available. They needed all the transportation for troops and stuff like that. And it was supposed to be reinstated, the overtime games. And it was never reinstated. And
Well, what do you mean it wasn't reinstated? We don't play overtime?
No.
We don't play overtime.
When do they play overtime? If it's tied at the end of regulation, it's a tie. Each team gets a point, right?
Sir. Hello?
Hello.
Please tell me you're joking. Please. I beg you. Are you joking me?
No.
$12:16 at 560 WQM. You were right before, by the way. You were a little psychic, though. You were ahead of your time with that prediction about the people on the phone. Here's a fax that says Jorge Mascanosa was nothing but a thug and a Nazi, another right-wing Cuban maniac. Luckily, it's spring break in Dayton. All Julios are busy and quiet at Westland with their mouths full. Oh, this is a good idea. Instead of Jorge Mascanosa Boulevard, they should name the street Glory Hole Boulevard. Oh! I like that a lot better. Oh, this last guy. And you think that I exaggerate? You think that even George knows that they play 5 minutes of overtime during the regular season, and that in the playoffs, of course, they play a full period, and they keep playing, and then they have an intermission, and they play another full period, and they keep playing until somebody scores and wins the game in the playoffs. Here's another old fart that shares his expertise, who probably hasn't seen a hockey game since Danny Gallivan was an embryo. Since Frank Selke Sr. was a fetus. Seriously, the ignorance, and then we got a sports station in this town? Oh, my God. You people have got to be kidding me. Nice going, Greg. Nice format. Nice place for a sports station. And we're going to build a new stadium? Oh, brother. What a bunch of kidders we got here in this town. Here's Homestead. Hello.
Good morning. How are you?
Great. I'm doing okay in spite of all these impediments to my life.
Yeah, well, you shot me in the ass already. I'm going to try to get to you before you hit this Mascanosa thing. Who the hell put this thing up for grabs? Rename half this town.
A couple of Julio legislators.
Yeah, it says right here in the paper.
Roberto Costas from Hialeah.
First thing this morning I read
and
this,
Mario Diaz-Balart from West Dade, a couple of good right-wing Republican members of the legislature, right?
So I'm reading this morning. I said, I got to call Neil. This is unbelievable.
I've seen it.
It says here, he has done a lot for the people of Cuba. Well, why the hell did the people in Cuba name their goddamn
yeah, exactly. I didn't know that he was elected to do something for the people of Cuba. I thought he was supposed to be working for the people of Florida.
Yeah, this schmuck, all he's done is stole money from Miami. He's a goddamn gangster.
Yeah.
And so we're
no mas,
exactly.
No more of this crap. Okay, we got Jose Canseco Boulevard.
Yeah.
I mean, what are we going to have next? You've heard of Route 66. Maybe we'll have Alpha 66 Highway. Maybe we'll rename 95.
Yeah, you can drive all over this town, and every fourth street is named after some Cuban.
Exactly right, and that's why people are flocking out of Dade County. There is no assimilation process going on.
Exactly.
It's like we took it over. We're going to do whatever the hell we want here, and you people can all blow it out your ass. This is what goes on here politically and in every other goddamn way, and that's why Dade County is a foreign country, and anybody doesn't believe that is blowing smoke out their own ass.
Absolutely correct, sir.
Yes, I am.
And I thank you for it.
And God bless us.
See you.
It's a goddamn foreign country. It's a shame, too. It's a real super shame. But that's just the way it is. There's no desire, there's no leadership, no interest in assimilating or working together like they do in real cities. Oh, but it's a multicultural city. Oh, right. It's not a multicultural city. It's a one-cultural city. Anybody else that don't go along with the game plan, to them, you know. Like I said, I'm looking at the program for the Marlins opening game, and here's a full-page ad without one word of English in it. It's unacceptable. It's unacceptable.
You're just jealous because it's not in Yiddish.
Yeah, right. There's no Yiddish ads in there, my anti-Semitic friend, okay? And by the way, I wonder if that's one of those places where they're peddling horse meat in the back. 567-0560, pound 560 on the banana boat. I mean the Mobile One line. Yeah, it's a banana boat place, Dade County. Look at the driving. Look at the kind of old beat-up wrecks out there on the road. In fact, there was a thing. In fact, speaking of Jews, there was a thing this morning about how, I forget what year it was. I'll find it somewhere in the paper. There were 72,000 Jews on the beach, and now there's only 38,000, and they're either dying off or flying out of there like crazy. It's a takeover, baby. It's an invasion. That's what's going on here in this town. The whole county, it's been invaded. They even had to change the name to protect the guilty. Miami-Dade County, my big fat...
Rectum.
Yeah, right. Know anybody that says Miami-Dade County?
No.
No. But boy, it sure was a good idea changing all that stationery and all those letterheads for whoever got that contract. 567-0560, pound 560 on the Mobile One line. Here's Fort Lauderdale. Hello.
Yes, Neil.
Yes?
Oh, those Marlins are
Uh-huh. Whatever you say. Here's North Miami Beach. Hello. North Miami Beach. See, there's something on this line 4. It only happens on 4. They don't get disconnected. They aren't there, and it's always on that line. Never on the other lines, only on that line. Not that I'm starting about the phone company again at Bell South and how incompetent you people are, but I am. Here's Miramar. Hello.
Hello, Dr. Nell.
Yes, sir.
The other day you mentioned something about the electronic tolls, and you can get one of those transponders at Napa Auto, 62nd and Hollywood Boulevard.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll be available this spring.
But the point is this.
Yeah.
That's fine if you're talking about going through the toll booth.
Uh-huh.
But that's fine if the other people going through the booth actually go through with the right booth.
Yeah.
But if they're assholes going through the express, whatever they call that thing, what is the sunshine lane, whatever it is?
Sun pass.
Well, whatever it is. If there are people going through there who don't have it, who don't belong in that lane, it still isn't going to get you through any faster.
Yeah, that's right.
And you know as well as I do it's going to happen every day.
Yeah. What can you do?
And exactly.
All right, then. I'm out of material.
Okay, thanks for the good news.
Bye now.
Okay. What you can do is take a bus. And then the bus gets to the Sun Pass, and they say, oh, sorry, there's 16 illegal aliens out there with 15 pennies in their pocket in the wrong lane. I mean, when you're trying to create a situation where the dumb people are out there in their cars, we have all these thousands and thousands and thousands of really ignorant, idiotic people who take no money when they try to leave the airport and who have no change at the Turnpike Toll Plaza or any other goddamn place there's a toll. Yeah, I'm reading in the paper these comments, oh, please do anything to eliminate these tolls. It's such a hassle. You know, everywhere else well, not everywhere. Michigan, we didn't have tolls on the highway, but all over the place there are tolls on the highway. It's not like somebody invented that here. And somehow life goes on, you know, because people with a brain, they see it says exact change. Guess what? If you can read English, maybe they need to have bilingual signs there. Maybe that was it.
The numbers are the same in Spanish.
Yeah.
25 cents is 25 cents.
But exact change is not the same. How about exacto cambio? Is that right? Huh?
Cambio exacto. Get it right.
Spick.
Tyke.
Hetero. 567-0560, pound 560 on the mobile one line. Although, what's his name? Sam is calling you a lady. I don't know what that's all about. I have no idea. Maybe he's starting to get nervous. Well, he's from Venezuela. You know them. Here's South Miami. Hello.
Yeah, Neil.
Yes,
I wanted to set you straight on what's going on with Kosovo as far as the refugees going to Canada.
Mm-hmm.
According to 610 yesterday, when they do the Canadian report.
According to 610?
Yeah, they do. They
oh,
actually
my
do,
God, 610?
Yeah.
WIOD. Oh, I hate that station.
Yeah.
Yeah, those pitiful bastards, right? They do a Canadian report at about 12 o'clock every day.
Yeah.
For all our Canadian friends that are down here.
Right.
And they actually said that most of the refugees would be going to Toronto. There's apparently some big military base in the Toronto area.
Really?
And right away, Toronto city officials came out and said,
No.
we're going to need help from the government because the city of Toronto doesn't have the money. We're broke.
Right.
Believe it
That
or not.
Mel Lastman, he's got a great sense of humor, by the way, the mayor of Toronto.
Yeah.
I remember when it snowed back in December, it snowed 2 inches, and he called out the National Guard and all the truth. That was good. Nice going, Mel.
Well, they said without a doubt, they expect at least 20% of the refugees will apply for refugee status and want to stay in Canada.
Yeah.
And of course, this could go on for who knows how long, so it could be even longer than
Well,
that.
send them to Montreal. That would serve them right.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Let them open up Slovakia stands. Have a great day, eh?
Hey.
See ya. Yeah, that'll teach those frogs a thing or two. Put the, in fact, I say kick the frogs out and let the Yugoslavians go in there to Montreal and all of Quebec, and they'll build that place up. And they won't be militant about that language crap either. Parlez-vous or go home. That's probably what the frogs are already telling them, parlez-vous, go home. Boy, are they disgusting, the French. Jesus Christ. Are they disgusting or what?
Yes.
Man, you can smell them a mile away.
Hey, stupid!
12:30. Well, I'm choking on this olive. On a Greek olive. I hate to break the news to Joe and the nephew out there, okay, at the QAM van. You were mobbed when you got there. We already had our people waiting there for the stuff that they wanted. You can stay there from now until 7 years from Dale Earnhardt's next birthday. And the fact is that people aren't going to come because they don't want the QM keychains. They don't want those stupid, ugly bumper stickers that Sam made. And they especially don't want tickets for the auto racing crap, okay? With all due respect to Joey, who's a great guy, but I hate to break the news to you, they have no interest whatsoever, do they?
No.
Any?
No.
None. Okay? I mean, this is such a great sports town. I get that. I mean, that call before on the guy with the hockey and the ties and the overtime, that should make the Guinness Book of Records, okay? There would be people, depending on what part of the world that they heard that phone call, that would jump off the tallest building here in that crap.
Dave Lamont on Sports Radio 560 WQAM.
They don't want the auto tickets, guys. Turn around. Go home.
The sign that used to say to Robbie went dark, and now they're calling it Pro Player Park. True to the loom said it's time for a change. The new rules are you have to show up in your underwear, and no one ugly is allowed in there, so you'll have lots of fun checking out those funds. My zipper's lying down so I can get my pick up when the game is over tight. Just like my good of balloons back around over my bulging mouth. Now you can see a lot more at the game, since everybody is undressed the same, and you can look around to see what's hanging down. This is Paradise House. I never realized just how good it would feel being glad in my jockeys at the football field. Mr. Robbie is gone, and now it's BB Park.
Look at this. It's on that blonde, man. I'm going to start on this theme, and I'm going to rap on it all year long. You jackass. I like guys. Come on in. Lay down on my back. Well, all right. What's that?
I ate at the falafel ball stand, and met the new team mascot underwear man. Poor chicks that stared at the fun zone up above, at their tunnels above. I've never realized just how good it would feel being clad in my jockeys at the football field. Mr. Robbie is gone, and now it's BB Park. They call it BB Park. Let's make it BB Park.
12:33 at 560 WQM. I thought the market was going to go like up to 10,020 or something like that early, and now it's not doing too great. What the hell's going on? The Dow's up 20. It's 99.84. The Nasdaq's down 26. God damn it! Come on, go out there and buy some more of that tech stuff, okay? Buy more Yahoo. All you Yahoos out there. I just don't get it. I do not get it. That's what we need, is somebody call us in with one of those IPOs, which we have 8 million of them coming out every week, the initial public offerings. You know, they open up at 8, 12, whatever they are. That's going to go up to about 200. All we want is one. That's all. That's going to go up to about 200 in about 3 weeks. 5670560, pound 560 on the mobile one line. I mean, they really think that people were going to come out there for those auto tickets?
No.
Don't they get it? I hate to break the news to you, that's not a sport. I know that shocks the living crap out of you. It's not a sport. It's a sport like golf is a sport. Oakland Park, hello.
Neil,
Yes, sir.
do you think the Panthers next year will have a better chance when they move the crease out a little bit? I guess that's what they're going to do.
They already did that.
But they're going to move it out some more and
No.
square it off.
No. Oh, yeah, but what do you mean they're going to move it out some more?
They're going to move it out another couple feet.
Well, what does that have to do with the Panthers?
And square it off.
What does that have to do with the Panthers having a better chance?
Well, to give them a little more time to run.
Yeah. You need a little more time, sir, to let your brain grow and breathe. What are you talking about? Well, the Panthers have a better chance if they move the crease out a little bit, and I think you need to get the crease out of your rectum. What you need, sir. Maniacs, lunatics. Stop with your make-believe hockey talk, okay? We already have taken a survey. It's unanimous. You know nothing about it. So leave it at there instead of making it worse. Yeah, what are they going to that overtime? You know, they did that for the war. What, now, is he talking about the Civil War or the Boer War, this guy? 5670560, pound 560 on the mobile one line. See, if this were a sports town, that would be a hot topic of discussion. You got the Panthers, the Heat, and the Marlins all playing on the same night. You know there've got to be a lot of people out there that have tickets to more than one, that have crossover, or at least partial packages to different, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
I brought that up 10 o'clock this morning. Nothing. I had one guy call. He said he's going to the damn Panther game because he already spent the $112 and he can't get his money back and nobody wants the tickets, so he's going to show up. I'm going to be there, goddammit. I'll be there with bells on. Hoping for something. Hoping we might even score a goal. Come on, Ray. Let's have a pair for Ray. Here's Kendall. Hello. Kendall. On line 4 again, by the way, George. Okay. You might want to report that to somebody around here that in between their auto racing on the weekend, they might want to check with a phone company that line 4 is all screwed up. 567-0560, pound 560 on the mobile one line. Here's a mobile in Miami. Hello.
Hi, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Yes, I'd just like to say that Mascanosa did a lot for the community in Miami.
Like what?
Well, first of all, he set up a business called Mostech. That was where the first Hispanic company traded in the United States, and it did extremely well and employed thousands of employees in Miami.
Yeah.
He also donated money to numerous U.S. organizations to help out the poor and elderly, and just for that, he should have his name put in, in Miami. The same like Flagler and so forth.
Everybody should have a street named after them.
But there's plenty of Jewish people in Miami Beach that have their names up. Flagler, just for putting up a railroad, put his name up.
You mean like Arthur Godfrey Road?
Correct.
He was Jewish?
Well, not Arthur Godfrey, but you have Holtz and you have a bunch of others. And, I only read in Spanish.
Let me ask you this. How come we have to keep naming streets after people? What is that all about? Other than political...
there I agree with you, but to single out a Hispanic is not fair. And the last thing I'd like to say is that George is a disgrace to his race. Bye.
Okay. You're a disgrace to your race, okay? What, you mean like the human race? See, this again goes with you assholes out there that want to label yourselves, and I have no stomach for it, especially after a nice little lunch here. I have no stomach for it. I'm sick of it. Professional Cubans, professional Jews, professional Spartans, professional Poles, whatever the hell they are. It's pointless. Like a real city. There's Main Street, First Street, Broadway, 2nd Street, whatever it is, Elm Street, Schwartz Street. Oh, sorry, not Schwartz Street. Take that back. Schwartz Street. No, not Schwartz Street either. You're a disgrace to your race, okay? The Cubans have tossed you out, George. Oh! Officially.
They did that a long time ago.
Yeah, he's from Venezuela anyway, sir. Don't believe that he's Cuban. He's from the same place as Sam. 567-0560, pound 560 on the mobile one line. That was a shot. Here's Miramar. Hello. Miramar.
Neil?
Yes.
I'm glad to hear you're feeling better, Neil. Just two fast things. About Hialeah, I lived there for a long time. I ran out of there.
Yeah.
That's the time when Mayor Bennett was running that place. And
what was that, 18 what?
I beg your pardon?
I said, how many years ago was that?
23 years ago.
Oh, okay.
I ran out of that place like Grant took Richmond.
Right.
They came in, Mayor Bennett was there, they says you ain't going to win the next
Too bad Grant
election.
can't come back to take Hialeah back for the U.S. Wouldn't that be great?
About it. There was mostly American Italian people. They bought everything. They came with the clothes off their back.
They came with the balls off their back?
They took the whole goddamn place over. Let's forget about them. These Canadian Canucks, Quebec, they ought to drop dead. They think they own this goddamn country, Hollywood, Miramar, the beaches and everything. They say they spend millions of dollars. They're full of crap. They working under the goddamn hat down here, working for guys that's fixing up houses. Go to these mobile homes. These goddamn landlords are making them work because they're very good building places, and they pay them under the hat. Go to these goddamn flea markets. They're working for these goddamn people, Americans, under the hat because they need a lot of French people to talk, and they spend millions. They're full of crap. They should drop dead these Canuck bastards. Have a good day.
Crap.
Okay. Oh, all right. Yeah, there we go. Oh, we're getting some great calls today, thank God. The best. 567-0560, pound 560 on the mobile one line. Can't we all just get along? That's my question, huh? Can't we all just get along? Kick the frogs out, kick the militant spicks out, and let's just all get along. Kick all the derelicts out, and then, of course, we wouldn't have much left. Well, it would be nice driving on the highway. We get all the derelicts out of this town. And all those great criminal athletes that Dan LeBastard likes so much, too, by the way. I still think that's a great idea. Let's have tryout camp at every prison, every gangster place. The gangster tryouts. Dan can be in charge. He can bring the stopwatch and the tape measure.
Get Bush back to move!
Now, there's a video just for adults. Jerry Springer says I've got to get these guys on my show. See how one big fat captain, wearing an ugly blue suit, gets down the pants of Mr. Green Jeans And wait till you see what he does with Dancing Bear. Grandfather Clock can't keep his hands off of Mr. Moose. And watch Bunny Rabbit get himself a little cottontail. And when the balls fall on these guys' faces, they love it. Captain Kangascrew. Now on video through the Homo Shopping Network. Captain Kangascrew. Now on video.
12:43 at 560 WQM. Judge refuses to set bail for pill mill physician. A Coral Springs physician is accused of pulling in so much cash from prescribing more than 1 million addictive pills per year that she's at risk of fleeing the country and was denied bail on Tuesday. Dr. Barbara Mazzella charged patients $100 each to write out tens of thousands of prescriptions for narcotics and barbiturates, but has only $2,000 in her office account, federal prosecutors told federal magistrate Lorana Snow yesterday. Snow ordered, an interesting name too, by the way. Snow ordered Mazzella, a 61-year-old grandmother, to stay in federal lockup in Miami until her trial on charges of unlawful drug distribution, healthcare fraud, and false medical billings. Several of Mazzella's 4 children, patients, broke down in tears. I don't know where all that cash is going, but it's a lot of cash, Snow said. The fact that she has some legitimate patients doesn't change the fact that she's an accused drug dealer. Accused, their parentheses. Federal officials arrested Mazzella on Thursday and said 8 of her patients died from overdoses or suicide.
Boy!
They're investigating at least 24 other deaths. Prosecutors plan to seek a sentence of 20 years to life, Assistant U.S. Attorney Robert Nicholson said. Mazzella prescribed massive quantities of addictive drugs to patients, including some who were convicted drug dealers, some who were arrested for reselling them, and some using other people's names, prosecutors say. Mazzella also treated legitimate patients, authorities said, some with back injuries, AIDS, and cancer, who required strong dosages of drugs to dull their pain. The doctor had $3,000 cash when she was arrested last week and $4,000 when she was arrested for driving under the influence in February, according to federal agents. Mazzella's lawyer, Jeff Harris, said she often makes large cash deposits from her family business in Coral Springs, Doc's RX Tavern. But he said it's ridiculous to think the doctor would flee or is a danger to the community, as prosecutors contended. If she were granted bail, Harris said she would surrender her medical license and stop seeing patients, whoopee-doo. Some of her patients came to court prepared to testify that Mazzella was the only doctor around willing to give them enough drugs to quell their chronic pain. Dr. Mazzella has a tremendous support base, Harris said. I've heard from 4 or 5 patients, and her family has heard from dozens. But mixed in with the doctor's fans was Jessica Wiener Caccia of Boca, whose father, back patient Victor Wiener, died in September of 1996 from toxic interactions of drugs prescribed by Mazzella. When she gets convicted, I'll be on cloud 9, Caccia said. She killed my father. She gave him enough to kill a horse 3 times over. On the day Wiener died, Mazzella gave him prescriptions for narcotics and barbiturates, even though Caccia warned the doctor that her father was addicted and possibly suicidal, according to federal documents. His is one of the deaths under investigation, along with many, 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 many others. Prosecutors are still deciding whether to charge Mazzella with responsibility for some of the deaths, Nicholson said, and whether to charge Don Arneson, owner of Don's Clinic Pharmacy, which shared Mazzella's office and filled her prescriptions on a cash basis. How do you like that? Just what I've been telling you, man. Killing the public with drugs. When I lived in Boston in the early 60s on Commonwealth Avenue, there was a doctor I lived downstairs in an apartment, and upstairs in the same building, there was a doctor, a pill doctor. Amphetamines, that's when speed was real big for the diet doctors, when that whole scam started. He had people coming there that were skinnier than Karen Carpenter, giving them barbiturates, and we used to find all the stuff in the trash in the back of the apartment complex. All the needles and all the crap. 567-0560, pound 560 on a mobile one line. What am I getting excited about? Here's a mobile in Hialeah. Hello.
Fry the bitch.
Right.
Or just shoot her in the leg.
Or just give her an overdose.
Exactly. Neil, I have to disagree with you with that. You say that racing is not a sport. I sincerely disagree with you.
No.
If you've ever been behind a steering wheel for a few hours.
Behind a steering wheel of what? I'm behind a steering wheel every day of a great one of the greatest cars I've ever seen.
At a high rate of speed going into turns and the whole bit, it does wear and tear on your body.
So?
And I think that...
let me ask you this. Suppose they strapped you to the back of a Mack truck going high speed around those turns. That would be wear and tear on your body, too. Is that how you define a sport, if there's a lot of wear and tear on your body?
No, but
they call golf a sport, too. Is there any wear and tear on your body?
No, now golf is a different story. Golf is a different story. But I think definitely there's competition in racing. There's
competition in cockfighting, too. Does that make it a sport?
No.
Well, Neil, you gotta get behind the steering wheel one day of a race car.
I don't want to get. I have no desire to get behind the steering wheel of a race car. I get behind the wheel of a beautiful 1999 Corvette, whichever one I choose on that given day, every day of my life.
You don't drive it to its limits ever.
I don't have any desire to drive it to its limits. I'm not crazy. I'm not suicidal.
Just because it doesn't mean it's not a sport.
Okay, whatever you say. You want the tickets?
No.
I definitely.
No, he does not want any racing. I don't have any of them. Okay, the guys over there, Joe had them. Joey. 567-0560, pound 560. Oh, but it's a bigger spectator. You know something? Great. That's wonderful. Not interested. I mean, here's this goes to show you where this town's head is at, where their heads are at.
Rectum.
That's right. Greatest sport in the world. I mean, it's not even a contest. Hockey is by far and away. And I don't care about television ratings because, like I said before, a lot more people eat vanilla ice cream than fish food. That still doesn't make it great. It still sucks. It's still bland and tasteless like baseball. And I got people, the calls that we've had here today, man, are just, they're like seriously, Guinness Book of Records. If they make the crease bigger, will that help the Panthers? And how about, are they ever going to play any overtime? 567, we got 2 calls left on the board. We're dying over here now with an hour and 10 minutes to go. Hank Goldberg will be here from 2 to 6 from Shula's. Talking baseball with Josh and Jason 6 to 6:30 because we got to kill a half hour in there. Any interest in the baseball?
No.
And then the Mets and the Marlins again at PP Park on QAM. And, of course, on Waxy will be the Panthers and the Bruins because the Panthers always take a back seat because that's the way the contract reads, obviously. And I still hope we'll have more people for the hockey game tonight than they'll have in PP Park for the Marlin game. I could be wrong, but I don't think so. Second night of the season, no other local sporting event last night, and only over 18,000 announced. That's tickets sold, and God only knows how many people really were there last night for that trouncing by the Mets. And most of them Mets fans, by the way. Here's Kendall. Hello.
Yeah, Neil, good afternoon.
Good evening.
Speaking about the Hispanic naming of the streets and everything in
Yeah.
South Florida, I heard something last week on National Public Radio that thankfully I was sitting down in the car driving, but it was unbelievable. A state representative, and I don't know what the person's name is because I was in shock after I heard it, is introducing a bill to exempt South Florida truck drivers from being able to read English.
Yeah.
Because they don't need to read street signs because of, the phonetic no left turn and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So now it's
So
not
in other words, when it says on the turnpike change in trucks,
exact change.
No, when it says trucks, trucks can't go through the exact change. Trucks have to be in the green things on there, and it says so in English.
How about the signs that say no right turn?
Yeah.
Or how about
How about the signs that say go back where you came from till you learn to speak English? How about those signs?
How true.
Huh?
We need more of those.
Right, exactly.
Okay.
Hasta que your meters.
Bye-bye.
Okay. That's what they always say to the meter maid. Hasta que your meters. 567-0560, pound 560 on the mobile one line. What did Corey want there, sticking his head in the door?
Nothing.
What does that mean?
He didn't want anything. He just wanted to leave my door open so that I'd have to get up and close it.
Oh, thanks, Corey. He's from New York. It's one of those rude things that they learn to do. He can't help himself. Still looks pretty good. Here's Coral Springs. Hello.
Hello, Neil.
Yes, sir.
What you were talking about, the doc for death a minute ago that's giving out the pills.
Yeah.
My wife and I, we live in Coral Springs, and even though we have 1 million restaurants here, most evening, especially on weekends, when you get to the restaurant, you have to wait an hour or 2 hours to get in. So we were looking for a place to eat, and we decided to go to this Doc Steakhouse. We figured it's been up there for a couple of years. It's new or whatever. Let's go try it out. We're not investigators. We're not anything. We're just regular people.
Mm-hmm.
We walk in. My wife takes a look at the place. We take a look at the menu. That has about 3/4 of the items have been scratched out, like they don't have them. And my wife says, "This is a front for something." And she says, "Let's get the hell out of here." And we did. We wouldn't stay and eat in a place like this. It's obviously a front, and she's
but you're
making
saying
the
that. I mean, I have no way of knowing that. You're saying it. I don't even know where the place is or anything about it.
I'm telling you, we're just regular folk. We walked in, we looked at the place. My wife looks at me and she says, "This is a front for something. We're not eating."
Yeah, well, you just told me that.
Yeah. Anyway, that's
okay. Well, I'm glad you didn't eat there. Okay, thank you. Like I said, he's doing all the talking. 567-0560, pound 560 on the mobile one line. Here's Delray Beach. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes. I'll talk about that doctor, Dr. Death.
Yeah.
Where are all those people going to do that are addicted to drugs from her? There must be hundreds. They all must be sick as a dog today.
They'll find someplace else.
It's very hard.
Is it? Yeah.
Not easy.
Why, are you having troubles today or what?
Not me.
I believe you.
But first of all, a lot of these people are addicts. They can't find, drugs on the street. They go to these doctors and they write prescriptions.
Yeah. Well, maybe we can put them on a big 747 and send them to Amsterdam, and all the drug addicts, they take them out. No, they do. They take them outside of town, and they make sure they have only clean needles, and they deal with it intelligently instead of having them running around with a lot of illegal doctors.
That's exactly right. That's what should go on in this country. So backward.
Right.
I mean, a lot of these people are suffering out there. They got a deficiency in their brains.
Well, maybe we'll send them to Yugoslavia. 567-0560, pound 560 on a mobile one line. I mean, God forbid that anybody should get hooked on drugs by doctors, right? That doesn't go on in America, does it? All those good doctors out there. Here's North Miami. Hello.
Are the Panthers playing extra innings tonight?
Yes.
Thank you.
On Waxy. Extra innings. They're playing 15 tonight. I mean, that call from that guy before, I'm serious. I'm sitting here trying to absorb it. My intestines and my every part of my body, every cell is still resisting desperately, absorbing all of those things that he said. God. If stupidity were a commodity that we could market and make money from, we could work another couple of days and get out of here. I mean, it's just amazing. And I'm just talking about inside the building. Forget about the callers. 567-0560, pound 560 on the mobile one line. We're never going to make it till 2 today, boys and girls. Get that music ready. Get it ready, white boy. Because it's getting really, really grim. 12:55 at QAM when you're ready to buy. And by the way, John Penis, seriously, I always said you were a pretty good guy, always defended those who knocked you. But lately, man, what you've done to me, I wouldn't do to Adolf Hitler. I wouldn't do with Adolf's tenderizer. I wouldn't do it. He just abandoned the show is what he's done. He just basically abandoned us, and we have nothing. And that screw-an's got the chutzpah to walk up here this morning. Oh, everything okay? You're getting into those feedback sheets? Of course not. You know that. We're getting squat. We're getting had. We're getting jobbed.
Oh, boy. It's the 1 to 2 hour.
The old bag thinks I'm 16 years old.
Oi!
Sex is different today. I hear every druggist say that he needs something today to get it up. Oy vey. And though I'm not really ill, there's a new Viagra pill. And as soon as daddy takes one, there's no need for mom to fake one. And it gets me on the ball, gets me standing straight and tall. Doctor, please, some potency. I want to score. I need 4 more. The old bag thinks I'm 16 years old.
Men just haven't got a clue what we like and what to do. They just don't appreciate a woman's needs.
You're so hard to satisfy.
It's a laugh to watch you try.
So we go running for the shelter of the father's little helper. I could do this every night. Be a porno star.
Yeah, right.
Doctor, please, more potency.
Come back to bed.
She wants me dead. The old bag thinks I'm 16 years old.
Everything's 16 about you and your underwear.
Ah, what do you know? Yeah, what do you know? He's fine. What? Look at him. I can't hear you. Like when I was a teenager. Oh, you're a monkey woman.
It's a 101 at 560 WQ, and welcome to our big 1 to 2 hour. You can almost smell it, can't you? Can you smell it?
Yes.
I can. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T one. I can tell you right now, okay, and this is not, I'm not exaggerating. I don't care what happens on the sports nerd shows. I'm telling you this beyond a shadow of a doubt, since this is the show with a big audience, okay? Not these other make-believe shows, like that morning show. There is absolutely no interest, none. Now, there will be bodies and seats because they're already paid for, but in terms of real interest, there is no interest in the Panther game, in the Heat game, in the Marlins game, in any of these things. None. The most accurate call we had was very early when the guy called and said he's already paid for those Panthers tickets for the Bruins game tonight, and he can't get anybody to buy the tickets, and he's out $112 or whatever it is, and so he's going to go. There was an honest caller. No interest. Here's a mobile in Coral Springs. Hello?
Hey, Neil?
Yes, sir.
Are you getting the Yankee tickets?
Yeah. What can we do for you, sir? Is that it? That your material? that a medley your material? Yeah, that's it. That's a medley. So he's in medley. 5670560 pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Here's Fort Myers. Hello.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I just want to agree with you on that racing thing. I
You
think
wanted
it's
to what?
agree with you on the racing thing. I don't
Yeah.
see how they call it a sport.
It's not a
Kind of
sport.
like pro wrestling.
I mean, this guy before that's telling me, oh, well, don't you want to drive the cars to its fastest? Of course not. I'm not crazy. I'm not suicidal. I got a car that go 165 miles an hour. Do I want to drive 100? Why do I need to drive 165 miles an hour? To prove how manly I am? That's what it's all about. You know, it's like mine is bigger than yours, but my car is faster than yours is. Who the hell cares? What does that make them?
I don't get it. I visited your webpage the other day. It's
Yes,
pretty
sir.
great.
It is.
I can listen to you 24 hours a day now.
There you go.
Pretty nice. You gonna
Especially
get
over
some new
there.
T-shirts pretty soon?
Huh?
I said the T-shirts are pretty sold. Look like they've been sold out. You gonna get some new ones pretty soon?
Oh, don't push it now. Don't start
Okay.
pushing too hard, man. We can't afford it in the budget over here.
Hey, can I call someone a douchebag?
Yes, sir.
Damn Santa, you're a douchebag.
Okay, have a great
Thanks,
life,
bye-bye.
pal. Say hi to the Beasleys, by the way. Tell them to learn to take a few bucks and turn them loose. Then we can actually buy some T-shirts or have some promotion going on over here. Instead of that stupid ad in the Marlins, oh boy, the opening day program. That's just Neil Rogers with a D. Who's with a D? I think the D stands for dumb, as in Sam from Venezuela. Put him on a banana boat and send him back to Caracas with a banjo on his,
rectum.
Yeah. Which basically is any part of him that you want. I mean, you know, this is what happens when you put a putz who's like kind of a stepchild to the family, you put him in charge of promotions, and our fate is hanging in the balance of this putz. That's what happens. So you make do the best you can. You sit there with your lousy, 15 Sharon men or whatever you got. I mean, that's the amazing part. I mean, even when the full book comes out, I guarantee you that bald-headed little Tom Jicka, if I get a 30 share in the next book, he still won't write about it because I don't go to the track anymore, okay? I don't hang around with him and Ed Kaplan and all his racetrack buddies. Sorry, Tom. Because when it comes to the people that really know something about journalism and about broadcasting in this market, you're out, Tom. You're yesterday's news. Here's a mobile in Fort Lauderdale. Hello.
Hi, Neil. Great show.
Yes, it is.
I just want to comment on the Jorge Mascanosa.
Go right ahead, sir. Take all the time you want. Let's hear it.
If he was still alive, he would be indicted because the only reason they stopped the whole inquiry on the Cuban American National Foundation, which is the Cuban Mafia, is because he was on his deathbed. But if he were still alive right now,
he pulled a Meyer
he'd be going
Lansky.
down.
That's right. That's right.
Exactly. And I feel like moving. I live on Biscayne Boulevard, and I feel like moving, even though I'm nowhere near that.
What's wrong with Biscayne Boulevard? In other words, if part of Biscayne Boulevard can be Biscayne Boulevard, why can't all of Biscayne? It's probably the best-known street of anywhere in South Florida. Everybody knows Biscayne Boulevard, okay? Everybody knows the name of that goddamn street, okay? The Boulevard of Broken Dreams. You know, I mean, the memories I got of Biscayne Boulevard from years ago, cruising up and down Biscayne Boulevard, I could write a book just about that back before we had all this disease and crime. But nevertheless, Biscayne Boulevard, everybody knows, and we got to take a little strip because we got to do a political thing there. Roberto Casas and some other Julio, some professional spick with a hyphenated last name, Diaz Balart, which there are 8 million of them in that family, by the way, and the one on the TV is off of there, thank God.
Anyway,
I mean, why don't we just take in the name of every street in Dade County and make it into some Julio name, okay?
And auto racing sucks.
God bless you, sir.
Bye-bye.
There you go. Even Jason said auto racing sucks. He says it's for pansies. That's right. And he's nodding his head. He knows. He knows a real sport when he sees one. Oh, thank you. The Shawshank Redemption. Thank you very much. With Tim Robbins and that Schwarzer Morgan Freeman. Now, there's not a whole bunch of Schwarzers in this, is there? I don't watch.
No, he's the only one.
Oh, good. That's enough. One is enough. One token is okay. I don't like movies. No, like my mother goes with my aunt to see because they're bored, on the weekend. And every now and then, we went to see that Spike Lee movie, Spike Lee movie, I always say.
Why?
Yeah, why did you? And then she complains about it, how terrible it was. I said, what was the problem with it? Oh, there was nothing but Schwarzers in there. What did you expect? White people in a Spike Lee movie, Ma? What's wrong with you, honey? God, she's losing it. Thanks, Jason. See, there's some good things happening here. I get my own copy of Shawshank Redemption. So it's a good movie.
You got to bring it back.
I'll bring it back. Okay? Believe me. I'm guarantee I'll watch this before I watch that thing Boca Brian keeps trying to peddle me. What's the name of that series on HBO, that mafia thing?
The Sopranos?
The Sopranos.
Bring the tape back. I want to watch it.
I watched the first 5 or 10 minutes of it, and I can't get into it. I'm not interested. Just because The Godfather was great, and Once Upon a Time in America, and I'm into that kind of stuff, it's crap, is what it is. Oh, no, you don't know what you're saying. I don't like it, okay? I don't like it. I don't want Boca Brian to feel bad. I love him. He's great. In spite of what that one asshole says, he's great. He's a genius. I mean, that Kosovo bit, it's already been ripped off by everybody on the air in this town and 45 other markets all around the country. That's Boca Brian. He's a genius, but sometimes bad taste. Just like mowing Rick Riley's lawn. Here's Pembroke Pines. Hello.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Neil, first time, long time.
All right.
All right, yeah, back to this doctor thing.
Yes?
Yeah, I'm a recovering addict, and I go to this doctor, and I tell him, I had a little abscess on the hand, had to get taken out.
You had a little abscess on your what?
On the hand.
Oh, on the hand.
The other
you said
hand.
on the end.
Yeah, well, not that end.
Okay.
Anyway, I tell the guy, I says, I could do this with Tylenol, no big deal, it's going to hurt a little bit. The guy writes me 60 very strong pain medications. And I said, wait a minute, I don't need those. He goes, oh, you're going to need them. He goes, you're going to need, he's like telling me,
right.
I'm going to need them.
Oh, you'll need them, yeah.
It's just crazy. It's insane.
All right. Yeah.
It's just,
so you're going to leave us the number?
Huh? Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Worst of all, it was at a hospital.
Yeah. Oh, they're the worst. Do you know how many people get killed with drugs in hospitals?
Oh, man.
They're dying like flies.
It's unbelievable.
That's right.
All right, out of material.
Okay, good luck to you, sir.
Bye-bye.
And don't take any wooden pills. You're killing the public with pills, all you pill pushers out there. I'm so glad this story came to light, because what have I been screaming about for days now? Doctors who kill us with pills. Prescription drugs with all their grotesque side effects, and maybe if you got a big magnifying glass and you're lucky enough to get your hands on the package insert, which most people don't, maybe you just might get warned that it's going to cause abdominal cramps and nausea and vomiting and puking and kidney damage and liver damage, and your kishkis will fall out and maybe sudden death. But other than that, it's good stuff. And Pfizer's going up and Merck is going up and all these other. See, everything comes back to money. We all know that. So when it's your own health, don't get sucked in. I mean, if your own health doesn't matter to you, then fine. Be part of the money game, okay? Be another pawn in their little game. By the way, anybody got some thalidomide for us? No, I want to go out and buy some Eli Lilly stock. I think they ought to put that stuff back out again. I think they are. What's wrong with 10-headed babies? You know that old saying, 10 heads are better than one? That always applies, but not in the glory hole thing, though. It's kind of crowded.
Oh, God, Neil.
I remember seeing a man at a Taco Bell buying a burrito. He's short on time, so he tells them to make the order to go. Grease dripping through the bag as he gets into his car. He eats while sitting in traffic, but doesn't get too far. Takes a Pepto-Bismol in hopes that it will last. Cause then you really might know what it's like to get painful gas. Then you really might know what it's like, Then you really might know what it's like, Then you really might know what it's like, Then you really might know what it's like.
1:16 at 5:60 WQM. We got the Humper, Hank Goldberg at 2 o'clock from Shula's. 6 o'clock we got who we got? Josh and Jason from 6 to 6:30. They work real cheap, and they're just delighted to be on the air playing radio for half an hour. And then 6:30 to 7 we got the Marlin pregame show, in which there is absolutely no interest. It's only the third game of the season, and
you turd.
Interest is already waned, so to speak. And then we got the Panther game, which we have to stick on Waxy 790 because we realize nobody's listening to that, and who the hell can blame them at this point? So that's the agenda. Here's a mobile in Fort Lauderdale. Hello.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
I want to ask your opinion. I mean, last year when the Panthers weren't playing that great, they got rid of Doug McClain, and now there hasn't been much improvement. So, and it doesn't look like they're getting rid of Murray. So, you think it has anything to do with him being brothers?
What do you mean it doesn't look like? How do you know they're not going to get rid of him?
Well, I mean, there haven't been any. They haven't talked about it at all.
I'm talking about it every day.
Well, do you think it has anything to do with them being brothers?
Well, what do you think? What do you think, sir? Do you think that might have a little influence over the fact that they're brothers means if one of them goes, they both got to go. That's the good news.
Would they be doing better with Doug McClain?
No. This team has never had a good coach. From the day one, it's never had a good coach. And good luck to us, sir. Okay, that was the end of that discussion. See, I hate to break the news to you, but there are more people in the world besides Doug McClain, and he's not coming back. He's in Columbus with a straitjacket, getting paid for sitting on his ass and making dumb jokes on CBC. These people that want to go back, okay, you can't go back. This team has never, ever had a good coach. 5, 6, 7. I mean, because they got hot for a couple of months, they're all of a sudden. I mean, he was a good guy. I like Doug. We got along fine. He was had a good sense of humor, maybe too good, but he wasn't a good coach. He was a bad judge of talent and a hard ass. But this guy, yesterday they had the big meeting and they evaluated the player. Again, he's like running a kindergarten over there. That's basically where the level that Terry Murray is on. He has shown me absolutely, positively nothing. And even before the injuries, this guy couldn't motivate a team to get up for a big game. I mean, we've seen them play above their ability many, many times and rise up to the occasion, but he hasn't been able to do it. I told you, I was the one on this station and the one in the universe that told you way back in the beginning of the year when he started with his kindergarten tactics, I said, these guys will not play for Terry Murray. You mark my words. Did they play for him? No, they did not. Whether it's his fault or not, he couldn't motivate him to play for him. Okay, so that, I think, answers the question. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Here's South Miami. Hello.
Hi, Neil.
Yes, sir.
How you doing?
Okay.
I'll be at the game tonight. And
now, which game?
Oh, the Panther game.
Oh, okay.
The Heat.
Haven't heard from anybody that's going to the Heat game or anybody going to the Marlin game. Not one person has called this show. We've been on for 3 hours, 19 minutes, and 7 seconds. Not one person has called this show to say, oh, guess what, we're going to the Heat game, or we're going to the Marlin game, or...
I agree. You couldn't pay me to go to one of those two.
Right.
But I'm going to struggle through this game tonight. Just a little change of pace. You use the expression, the guy with the eyes.
Yeah.
I've always wondered, what is he, cockeyed, bug-eyed?
He's an asshole.
Well, I understood that.
He's just a big guy that looks like Frankenstein on drugs.
Like
and he's just
Elam,
got these real glassy eyes. You'd have to see it to really fully appreciate it.
Just the expression, I crack up every time.
The guy with the eyes. Well, believe me, if you saw him, you'd know exactly what I'm talking. That's like Gilbert. You hear the laugh, and that's all you need to know.
I've seen Gilbert, and he fits.
What you see is what you get. Absolutely.
Okay, Neil.
I'll see you tonight.
Appreciate it.
All right.
Bye.
You and I, we'll be there. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Enthusiasm is high. You can cut it with a butter knife. You can feel it. You can smell it. You want to bring back Doug McClain?
No.
How about Denny McClain?
No.
Huh? How about Shirley McClain? At least she might have some psychic abilities to know what the hell to do out there. Mediocrity. Why is it that I'm the only one in this town? How about naming some names? I mean, instead of repeating the same boring 20 minutes on the morning show this morning, I loved hearing Ray Whitney on there. I get erotic when I hear Ray Whitney's voice. There's a little guy goes out there. He only scored a couple of goals in the last week. He's been tailing off a little bit, but everybody goes through their slump. But he's leading the team in goals, in assists, in points, in game-winning goals. He's done his job and then some. And if Bure wouldn't have got injured, instead of 24 goals, wouldn't he have about 44 by now? You can take that to the bank. But they get done with that interview, and here comes the same 20 minutes I heard yesterday. Bada beep, bada boop. Stop beating around the bush, you pussies on that morning show. Start naming some names of the guys who don't belong on this team. Like, oh, well, they're going to unload some guys. Come on, Joe. Let's see some macho-ness from you, you pussy. We got too many pussies around this place. That ought to be the name of this station, Pussy Galore. From the program director to the morning guys, a bunch of pussies is what we got. Name some names. Kirk Muller. Kirk McClain, although he did play good the other night, but, that's not our future, believe me, for a back. Well, I don't know. Can't blame the goaltending this year. Burke and Kirk, they've been a lot better than we could have ever expected, to be honest with you. McClain had that one disaster up there in Vancouver. Maybe he was, back into the Vancouver water again up there. I have no idea what the deal was up there. But that's not the problem. But how about naming some names instead of just generalizing? Everybody knows who the stiffs are on this team. It's no secret. Like number 44. Oh, now, you know this Miami call probably won't be there. Here's Miami. Hello.
Hey, Neil.
And like I said, I knew they'd be there.
Yeah, hey. Hey, I got an idea how to resolve this Kosovo problem, get Slobodan Milosevic out of power, is we send Dan Lebitard over there.
Yeah.
And have him write an article in their newspapers.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I read that article today. What a... Unbelievable.
Isn't that crazy? In other words, I mean, the one guy, he's talking about these gangsters and alleged gangsters, and this guy's got a track record as long, he's got a rap sheet as long as this guy's ass, and but they got ability. I guarantee you there's plenty of guys in the slammer got athletic ability. Should we let them all out? Is that the idea, Dan? Is that what you're trying to say, you banana boat mentality jackass?
Well, if the Dolphins do draft him and sign Tony Martin, what good are they going to do if they're going to be in jail the whole time?
How about we bring back Mark Duper and Irving Spice? Let's sign up. He'll be out someday. Sign him up again.
Yeah. Sign all the gangsters.
And Bobby Humphrey, he can make sure those chalk lines disappear real quick.
Oh, sign Brian Blades as a free agent.
All right, there you go.
Hey, Neil.
Yes.
Neil, one more thing.
Yeah.
Dan Lebitard escribe mucha mierda.
Okay. He said you're full of Dan, and he's right. Thank you, sir. You're a disgrace to this community, Mr. LeBastard, and you're a sports writer like I'm a goddamn rocket scientist. Like my miniature picture is going to be performing open heart surgery at Jackson Memorial Hospital at 4:30 this afternoon. And you should only be the patient, Dan. You're an idiot. God almighty, to waste good space in supposedly a major market newspaper, and then you pick up a real paper like the Toronto Sun or like any real newspaper, and like in a real city, and you read stuff that's worthwhile reading, whether you agree or disagree, but at least it makes some sense. There's some foundation for the basis of the opinion that's expressed. Then we got Dave Hyde, who writes, a lot of words on a page and doesn't say anything over and over again, and Dave Joseph, who keeps restating the obvious. We already know he's a bitter, angry young man. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. North Miami Beach, hello.
Hello?
Yep. I didn't know they did that. The pill part I knew. I didn't know they prescribed that, too. Well, that's the way people talk, okay? Don't blame this punk for blurting it out. He just blurted it out. Squirted out. Yeah. That's just the way real people talk. But unfortunately, because this is repressive US of A, we can't say those things on the air, sir. We can't say all of these things. Because the government, the word police, get real upset. They get psychotic. You can take one, you just can't say it.
I know that the Lord even loves Neil Rogers.
If you love those great songs from those great mafia movies, you flip over Real Mob Hits. Not only does Real Mob Hits give you more of that great mob music, but you also get awesome sounds of Real Mob Hits. Like Luca the Ice Pick Fiamma getting his at the 106th Street Barbershop. Forget about it. Or who can forget Sally the Fish getting the old piano wire across the throat. If I remember correctly, it was a B flat. So order Real Mob Hits now if you know what's good for you, just by dialing 1-800-BADA-BING. Real Mob Hits. Hey, it's real. Forget about it.
You know who we ought to send that to?
Don Corleone.
Yeah, he'd enjoy it. 1:30 at 560 WQAM on a really bizarre day. We've had some calls today. I mean, you couldn't buy for $50 billion cash. I'll tell you that right now. My very favorite, though, being the guy with the hockey overtime. He was the best. Here's a mobile in Palm Beach. Hello.
Hi, Neil. How are you?
Okay, sir.
Great. Just wanted to touch base with you. I heard you mention earlier that you were concerned about the coach of the Panthers.
What do you mean concerned?
Well, just, the level of coaching that he has, it's just not right for the team right now. Who out there would you consider to be, a coach for this team? Because as you know, coaching is, you can't just take any coach behind the bench and expect the team to win.
Yeah.
You've got different levels of coaches out there.
Mm-hmm.
You need to find a coach that can work with the team that he has right now.
Yeah.
You see teams out there like Pittsburgh having problems.
Wait. Say that again?
Well, you see teams out there like Pittsburgh right now with coaching problems. And
Pittsburgh has a coaching problem?
Oh, you didn't hear Yarmer Yager complain about...
I hate to break the news to you. Kevin Constantine will get a lot of votes. He won't win it, but he'll get a lot of votes for the Coach of the Year award. He's done a spectacular job. He's had problems with Yager from way back at the beginning of the year when Yager said he would never play for him. This is like a little game that they have back and forth, the two of them. Kevin Constantine has done a spectacular job in Pittsburgh. I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm not saying he's a bad coach.
But to go back to what you just said, who can coach this team? Nobody can coach this team and go anywhere with it because it's a team lacking in talent. This team needs a general manager that's going to go out there and not just pin all our hopes on one guy. I mean, Bure was a great acquisition. The whole deal all the way around was great. But the fact is that the supporting cast blows. There've got to be a lot of moves made, and just trading a guy you didn't want, in the person of Brett Warner for Mike Wilson and at the trading deadline while all the other teams are making important moves and acquiring, really talented people, that didn't change anything.
But
the general manager and his brother have both got to go.
Right. You got Deadwood on the team. Lindsey, Louse. I mean, you got guys you need to get rid of.
Not dead. Well, sir, get out of here. You know nothing. You know absolutely nothing. Nothing. Less than nothing. Every piece of your conversation, piece by piece, part by part, indicates to me you're a Panther fan. You know nothing about the game. Zero. 567-0560, pound 560 on the ATM. And the guys that go out there and bust their ass like Laws and Lindsay and Mellenby, these are the guys that the so-called fans here don't like. The guys like Chris Wells, the guys who like Robbie, the guys like Kirk Muller, who's been finished and washed up for 3 years. We don't know about them. I do. Get rid of them. Say goodbye. Pack them a salami sandwich. Not personal. It's business. God. And you wonder how we're going to get it. We only got a handful of games left. And you wonder how we're going to go through an 82-game season, 41 home games, and not be able to see the red light come on with a goal scored. You wonder why? That's why. They don't, not only don't they care, they don't even know. Here's a lady in Boca. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Neil, this is your Dutch admirer again. I'm not calling about hockey or anything else.
Good.
Do you remember?
This town knows nothing about.
Do you remember I promised you a list of good restaurants in Amsterdam?
Yes.
Well, I have the list here. Can I give it to you at the game tonight?
Sure, I'll be there.
Oh, great.
You know where I sit?
Yes, I do know where you sit.
I'll be there.
Okay, I'll see you then.
Alsjeblieft.
Dank u wel.
Okay, dank u wel. Okay. There you go. We got the Dutch lady. Those are people that know what life is all about. Oh, here's a nice song. We hate you, Tory. Oh, yes, we do. This is cute. We hate you, Wayne. That's true. Your hokey pokey is old, not new. This is kind of cute. We ought to have Boca Brian recorded. Or maybe we can get, what's her name to do it for us? What's her name? Is she back in town or is she still up there in Nashville seeking her fortune? Joe Lynn, we love you, Panther.
Yeah, I haven't heard from her, so she must be still up there.
She must be still up there in Nashville making a lot of money. She probably forgot about us. We love you, Panthers. You really blow. Yeah, remember that song. See, the people in this town, they don't even know who the good players are and who the dead wood is out there. They like the big black guy named Peter is what they like. Come on, let's have another fight. Let's get another stupid penalty. Come on, let's go. I mean, just watching their behavior, watching their hysteria over this much ado about nothing, that tells you all you need to know. It's hopeless. But they keep showing up. That's the amazing part. There are asses in those seats. Here's West Palm Beach. Hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
How you doing, bud?
Great.
Lindsey Laws.
Yeah.
What does that guy think?
At that point, that was, the other stuff he said was so ludicrous anyway, but at that point, what's the point?
Unbelievable.
He said, I'm concerned about the coaching. I'm not concerned about it. It sucks. Get rid of these two guys.
Yeah. Hey, I think...
we need some new blood in this organization.
Yes, sir. Definitely. And you're pissed off about it. I'm glad.
I'm pissed off and fired up about it. That's right.
Yep. Well, they're playing with the sense of urgency, as the rim job would say.
Oh, yeah. With a sense of urgency for getting the season over.
Right.
I asked him the other day how he thought that they've been playing this last week. All these games that they were supposed to win, have a chance for the playoffs. He said
they stunk.
Yeah.
I think we need to get rid of him, top notch.
Oh, don't start with Rimmer, okay?
Oh,
He's
God.
had a rough life. He needs the job.
He does. How about
plus he bought dinner the last time. Don't be now that I'm finally getting some free meals out of him. Don't start cutting off the meal tickets, sir. Garpenloff must go. He must go immediately, if not sooner. Goodbye, Johan. We love you. You're a good guy. You never stole a freight train. Goodbye.
Yep.
Goodbye, Johan. Goodbye, Robbie.
Exactly.
Goodbye, Peter.
Chrissy.
Goodbye, Chrissy.
Jeez. Just because a guy's big, people think
You talk about a coach. He played Chris Wells in that, this is before all the injuries, in that Islander game last week. He played Chris Wells almost the entire second period. It was like an endurance contest to see how long before the kid would fall down on his ass. I mean, Terry Murray has displayed to me a glaring, a gaping lack of any kind of common sense in anything related with coaching. I haven't seen any coaching, and the best example of that, the beginning of the end for this team, they were fumbling their way along for a while, but that Colorado game blowing a 5-0 lead late in the second period, and as the whole team was crumbling, when they found out that Pavel Bure was re-injured, wasn't coming back, and the team, I don't care what anybody tells you, including Scott Mellenby, when the team just folded up their tent at that point, instead of calling a timeout somewhere and saying, hey guys, we still got a 2 or 3 goal lead here, he just stands there with his arms folded like somebody just farted in his face, and then that's it, and watches the game fart away. Nice going, Terry. That was some great coaching, sweetheart.
That was.
That was pathetic.
It's also good coaching not to put Whitney on the power play.
Right. Oh, that's right.
But what are you going to do?
Well, we like seeing Victor skate those big loop-de-loops. You know, at least we won't see him tonight. He's not feeling too good.
Yeah. All right, Neil.
Good luck to us, sir.
Thank you.
God bless us all, like Tiny Tim said. Let's sign Tiny Tim up. Let's stick his ass out there on that second line instead of the big black guy named Peter. I don't want to see guys that can win fights. I want to see guys that can stick the biscuit in the basket. Even little Ty Domi's got 8 goals for the Leafs this year, okay? Guys that have actual skills besides just going out there and doing the goon routine. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. If you use a cell phone, and by the way, John Penis, man, I've turned 180 degrees on you, John. I used to think that you were a real guy. You've just abandoned me like a stepchild, like being set on a corner somewhere. Like that story I was reading here about Curtis Joseph when he was a kid, adopted, growing up with 500 Aborigines or whatever it was. That's what John Penis has done to me into this show. Just abandoned, left us in the lurch. How's Lurch doing, by the way? Speaking of the guy with the eyes.
Suck it in and hold it.
Skinhead or white supremacist, you know that the forces pulling the strings in the government are closing down on all those great websites we've become accustomed to. Well, we still have the U.S. Postal Service to rely on. So now is the time to join the Nazi of the Month Club. For just $8.99 a month, you get the complete history of one prominent Nazi, past or present, the particular group he hates, and any subversive activity they may be planning. So no matter what the race, religion, or ethnic group you hate, Nazi of the Month is right up your alley. Just call 1-800-PINHEAD to order. Order today and get your very own synthetic Adolf mustache to impress your friends absolutely free. That's 1-800-PINHEAD. Order today.
It's 142 at 560 WQM. I guess Josh Friedman doesn't believe
all of these things
that we've been saying about him, because he just came in here to ask me some silly hockey question right in the middle of the conversation. It was so embarrassing. God. Anyway, I almost forgot about this, talking about embarrassing. It's not bad enough they're naming streets after assholes like Jorge Mascanosa. All this ethnic stuff. See you, Josh. Not too soon. It's Bath Week, by the way. That's what I heard. Ex-columnist has his day in Hollywood. Wait till you hear this. Remember the unctuous Ron Ishoy who used to write like the gossip column and used to go around to the colleges and lecturing about broadcasting and the media like he knew something about it? And, oh, that Neil Rogers is disgusting and I'm going to get him off the air. That was like 100 years ago, and I'm still here. Ex-columnist has his day in Hollywood. Ron Ishoy. He's an asshole. The Hollywood City Commission has proclaimed today Ron Ishoy Day in recognition of the former Herald columnist. How do you like that? Ron Ishoy always illustrated his belief that writing about the community can make it a better place and is a professional journalist who understands that good newspapering requires intense knowledge of a community, said the proclamation signed by Mayor Mara Gugliante, who's also, the one that was all upset about the Life is a Beach T-shirts on the beach, offending the old farts and the frogs. After 20 years at the newspaper, Ishoy left the Herald last month to become spokesman for the Broward State Attorney's Office. He's the spokesman. And he's an asshole. Right. And guess what, Ron? I'm still here. And no, we haven't had a Neil Rogers Day yet, and we won't have Neil Rogers Avenue, Neil Rogers Drive, Neil Rogers Parkway. We won't have Ron Ishoy Avenue, but congratulations to you. Maybe the Mayor Mara Gulante in Hollywood. Maybe she likes his or something. That's this town for you, man. Just a bunch of panderers and ass suckers and butt lickers. Same old tired faces, year after year, decade after decade. Same old hollow, empty arguments. No spaghetti inglés and, all this other crap. No, we don't want the spring breakers. We don't want all this, the old people run the town. Let's have some more banana boat people. And it's a world-class city after all, right? Anybody believe it? Right. Here's Hialeah. Hello.
Hola, Neil Down.
Yeah, okay, whatever you say. What was that?
Sounded like French.
Oh, Bastardo, is that what he said? Go back to Canada, okay, Froggy? They'll kick your ass out of there, too, pretty soon. They're getting ready. They've had it with your crap. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T line. Here's a mobile in Miami. Hello.
I'd like to make a call, please.
Please. See, it's line 4 again. It doesn't, line 4 screwed up. But don't start. I mean, hey, we almost made it through the show today. We'll make it. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T line. I mean, if I have to, I'll just spend the last 15 minutes again talking about our management in the sales department who have no concept. They just don't speak this language of servicing the accounts, caring what stuff we put on the air, if the spots are distorted, if the copy is up to date. They don't care about these things. I was telling Joe yesterday, I'm discovering things here after 600 years in the business. I'm discovering things that I never heard of before, that I not only never encountered before, but I didn't know could even be possible before. That's how unrelated the Greg Reed family is to the real radio broadcasting world. And he's going to give you a song and dance. Oh, we're the top biller in the market. Yeah, they're making all of they're raking, I won't say they're raking all the money through there, and they're still losing. They still can't pay their bills because Wayne and John Henry are getting all the money. I'll guarantee you they're not losing any money on this show.
Oh!
Here's a mobile in Pompano. Hello?
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
I got a dish yesterday from Brandsmart. I'm
Right.
ready for the playoffs. I want to see Ray Bork put about 100 goals in Burke tonight.
He might.
Can I please get the tickets?
Get what tickets?
For the hockey game.
What tickets?
The Panther tickets.
The ones that I gave away 2 hours ago?
Oh, you gave them away already? Oh, well. At least I got my dish, Neil. Take
Okay,
care.
who's number 18 on the Bruins?
Ray Bork.
Is number 18?
Yeah, I believe so, right?
Who's number 77?
Let's see here. Not Coffee, is it? No. On the Bruins, I'm not a Bruins fan, Neil. I could talk to you about the Wings, though.
Well, then what are you talking about? Then why did you tell me Ray Bork? What was that?
I just want to see him score on the Panthers. I mean, I'm not a Ray Bork fan. I'm a hockey fan.
Yeah. Who's number?
You know what I mean?
Who's number? You're a Red Wings fan?
I'm a Red Wings fan.
Who's number 18 on the Red Wings?
That'll be right.
He got some of the letters right. That was good. How would you pronounce M-A-L-T-B-Y? How would you pronounce that? M-A-L-T-B-Y. Maltby. Kirk Maltby. Good. He got some of that's good. He got some of the letters right. So he actually may have seen the name on a uniform sometime in his life. That was very good. Number 18 for the Bruins, Raymond Bork, who also wears 77. Oh, that's Paul Coffey. And Paul Coffey doesn't play for the Bruins. He plays for the Carolina Hurricanes these days. Here's another South Florida hockey fan. Oh! Wants the tickets I gave away 2 hours ago. You know, I'm glad. Ordinarily, I hate when we give tickets away. I'm so ecstatic. Thank you, Greg. You finally did something that paid off only by accident. This has brought the ignorance out of the closet in this town. I mean, just pouring out. Pouring out. Now that you got that dish, sir, I hope you sit there and watch a lot of games. There's all kinds of games on there, night after night after night. It's almost the end of the season, but maybe, one of these days. And you watch a whole bunch of different teams, then you'll learn to recognize the players and know what their names are and what teams they're on and who's the number this and number that, I mean, not that it's important, but wouldn't you think that if you're like a real fan, you would know at least, Raymond Bork is number 18? Just from the zits, you should know it's Kyle McLaren and not Raymond Bork. I'm embarrassed for you people. I'm humiliated for me. I'm humiliated and degraded because if people, even George would agree, if people don't know hockey stuff, they couldn't possibly know anything. Even you would agree with that, if you know what's good for you.
Oh, yeah.
I saw that car payment slip there in that, they slipped in that thing.
Hockey is God.
There you go. And if George says so, it must be dubious.
And watching it ain't bad either.
Yeah. He hates it, but nevertheless. No, but I can understand if you know nothing about it, but to call here and tell me he's a fan and he's got his dish and he's all pumped up and fired up and it's Mattleby. Remember Mattleby? Ah! And you wonder, you're sitting in there, there's 19,000 bodies in seats. And they haven't got a clue. And you sit there asking yourself,
Why?
are they here? And no one has a clue.
What's this obsession with hokey?